Okay, let me see here. This is all working and everything. I normally don't stream with just a webcam. So, let's see if this is all working and everything here. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, hello everyone. How are you guys doing? I hope that everyone here is having a good day. So I wanted to do a special live Q&A stream. I'm sorry I haven't done a Red Dead stream in a bit. I will do Red Dead on this Friday coming up. I've just been so busy that I haven't gotten the chance to do a Red Dead stream, but just with the games that come out right now, just so busy with them. But I want to thank thank you Digital Demonic, and thank you Nathan. Nathan and Kevin Edgar, if I'm pronouncing your first name there correctly. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for the support. Oh, and thank you, Great Protected. Hallelujah, you finally made it. Congratulations, man. Thank you for the super chat. $100 super chat from Great Protected. Thank you, man. I do really appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. Special shout out there to Great Protected. Thank you, man. And thank you there, Anthony. Thanks, man. Thank you, Black X. Thank you guys for the support. A game you would possibly enjoy is Witcher 3. Thank you, Thomas. Well, I've enjoyed the Elder Scrolls games a lot. Maybe I would enjoy also the Witcher 3. And thank you, Aravidin L. Hey, Professional. Congrats for hitting 1 million. Thank you, man. Thank you, guys. Okay, so I wanted to do this this stream here in which I would do a live Q&A. I do a Q&A on most of my streams, but I would in this one we're just going to focus entirely on Q&A. Would I want to do another playthrough of Mercenaries? Oh yeah, I would. The first one originally, yeah, I would. And I would like to dress up as Matthias for that one too. Hey, Professional, congrats for hitting 1 million. Thank you, Aravind. Congrats, Pro. Happy to see you make it to this and happy to support you. Been enjoying GTA 3 Remastered myself. Thank you, Bunny. And thank you for sponsoring my channel again. Thank you, Eric. On behalf of all your fans and supporters, including me, congratulations, and I'm very proud of you and how far you've come. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, guys. So I want to thank everyone for your support here. We have hit 1 million subscribers. Thank you, guys. This channel would be nothing without you guys. You guys have given me a lot of support and a lot of confidence, and you guys have definitely boosted my morale and helped me through a tough time as well. Thank you, Sleeping in Fire. Well-deserved, mate. Thanks. Thank you, man. Thank you, David Helenin. Hey, Pro. Congratulations on 1 million subscribers. Thank you, David. I remember that when I was doing when I changed up my channel like a year and a half ago, I did have, like, at the time, because I know a lot of oh, and thank you Welkin Music. Hey, Pro, congratulations on hitting a milli, bro. You deserve it. But do you think the glitches on the GTA remastered are still going to happen? Also, I like your cut. Thank you. Thank you. I cut my own hair. I did learn how to cut my hair a little bit a few years ago, and typically, I typically do a cut like this. But thank you for the super chat. Do you think the glitches are still going to happen? Yeah, I think that a lot of them are going to get fixed, but some of the character, animations, I don't think that's going to get changed. Is Saints Row 2 dropping today? No, that'll come out tomorrow. I just wanted to get out that video talking with the multiplayer in San Andreas, and tomorrow I'll have Saints Row, and I'm gonna start doing Saints Row every day alongside San Andreas. So I'm sorry, it's just a little difficult doing 2 games at once. I'm getting a bit overwhelmed. Um, Firstly, congrats on the massive milestone, Pro. I just want to hear your thoughts on the disastrous launch of the GTA Trilogy's PC launch. Thank you, Ryan. Oh, it's a disaster. The fact that people on console can play it right now, the people on PC can't. I don't know what they were. I don't know. What they were thinking. They wanted to get it out before a Christmas release. That's probably what Take-Two Interactive pushed. They're like, we want it out before Christmas, before the holidays, and this ends up happening. It happens to a lot of developers. The publisher pushes them before a Christmas release, and they rush it out, and then it's a disaster. Thank you, Nightmare. You think about playing LA Noire or Mafia 3. Also, congrats on reaching 1 million subscribers. Thank you, man. LA Noire, maybe, I don't know, because LA Noire, I beat it years ago, but I know who the killer is. LA Noire is a detective game, so I already know who all the killers are, so I don't know if it would be that interesting to do, but Mafia 3 I'm definitely interested in. Oh, and thank you, Great Protected. You are my favorite YouTuber, so this is my gift for making me smile in every single video you ever make. Thank you, Great Protected, one of the largest super chats that I've ever received. Thank you, man. Thank you. $200 from Great Protected. Special shout out there to Great Protected. Thank you, man. I do really appreciate it, man. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. You are awesome. Thank you, man. Thank you, Great Protected. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That's one of the largest super chats that I've ever gotten. And thank you also, Bellstat. Congratulations for hitting 1 million subscribers. Here's for the future. Thank you, Bell. What currency is that, if you mind me asking? And thank you for the super chat. Thank you, man. I do really appreciate it also. And thank you also, Bunny. $30 super chat from Bunny. Celebrate good times. Thank you, Bunny. Thanks, guys. I do really appreciate it. Well done on the million. Thank you, Electra Gaming. Oh, it's Swedish? Okay. Are you okay? You sound sad? No, I'm good. This is what I always sound like. I just always talk like this. Here's a 1 million subscriber celebration question for you. What's 50 plus 50? 100? Thank you, gamer, and thank you for sponsoring my channel again. Tell Rockstar to shut down Red Dead Online. Well, I don't know why I would do that, Grits. I enjoy Red Dead Online. I just want to see the game get updated more in the future. Thank you for the super chat, though. Congrats on the 1 million. Are you ever going to do a playthrough of Manhunt on your channel? I do. I want to do a playthrough of Manhunt, but I'm also concerned. And thank you, Pod, for the super chat. The reason that I'm concerned is because I don't care about the violence in Manhunt. I personally don't. You guys know I play violent games. I play Outlast on the channel before, so, Manhunt wouldn't bother me, considering that I liked Outlast. But what I'll say is that about Manhunt, the reason that I will be concerned to play it is because I got a community guideline strike from YouTube. And I got a strike from YouTube over a year ago for playing Call of Duty World at War. So I did the first mission in Call of Duty World at War. They gave me a strike for violating the harmful and brutal policy. And so they accused my video of being harmful and brutal when it was a World War II game that I was playing. And I don't know what happened exactly, why YouTube was just refusing to remove the strike. I tried to appeal it several times, he's refused to remove it, and I've had that strike. And so I'm scared about playing like a very violent game like Manhunt because I'm scared of that happening again. And thank you, Gomo, huge fan from South Gomo Lemo Mohapi, if I'm reading that correctly. Huge fan from South Africa here. I just discovered your channel and it's honestly one of the best. Keeping rocking, man. You deserve all the success. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. I do appreciate it. Thank you. Congratulations, man. Well deserved. Love your streams. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, guys. Can you tell us your full story before your career of YouTube? Maybe draw your life version or just normal story? I could do that. Congrats, my favorite YouTuber. Great to see you try new games. Glad you're leaving Vice City until last, as the game has serious issues. Sending love and peace. Well, thank you, Leech 5, if I'm saying your name correctly. Thank you, man. And thank you, Eric. Don't let those who keep asking repeatedly when your next video is coming out and spam it need to have more patience with you, because you need all the time you need for what you do for the content that you make. Thank you, Eric. Thanks. Thanks, Eric. Pro, your thoughts on the GTA Trilogy being a mobile port of AI upscaling that has zero quality control and almost new human checks? They want $60 for this. Wait, for the mobile port, they want $60 for that? Are you serious? The mobile port, they want no, that has to be one of the most expensive apps that I've ever heard of. If they want $60 for a mobile version, that's ridiculous. No, that's no. That they should not be charging $60 for a mobile version. Yeah, paramedic are good to do in Portland, but I know the new Outlast has combat. Thank you, Pro, for the super chat. But for people that were asking me, what my what my story was. I ended up going to college after I had graduated high school. Wang did a stream on Manhunt, so I don't see how you couldn't. Who's that? Is that a YouTuber? I've just never heard of him. But thank you, Bellstat, for the super chat. Congrats, Pro. You're an awesome YouTuber. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Super. Thank you, man. So I ended up graduating from high school and been replaying the OG PC version of San Andreas. I've just beaten the Green Saber. It works quite well on my Windows 10 PC and has no cut music. Yeah, I heard about that a lot of songs had got removed, unfortunately. Thank you, Tricky Mario. And Patrick Farrell, IOPro, I helped you with the Blood Money video. Congratulations on 1 million. You so deserve it, brother. Love from Australia. Thank you, Patrick. Thanks, man. Pro, do you think that Rockstar will do you think Rockstar will go, I guess, more downhill, now that the main people such as Laszlo, I believe, Dan, are leaving? I'm worried about the future. Well, it's definitely not going to be positive. Thank you, Tiz. I don't think I think it's going to be worse. Thank you for the super chat. And thank you, Jackson. Thanks, man. Thank you, Mr. Waifu, $20 super chat. You're a personal inspiration for me. I'm inspired to try more games and media thanks to you. Mission Pass, respect, plus. Also, favorite radio station in Saints Row 1 and Saints Row 2. For me, it's K1 297.6 and The Crunch. I like the Crunch, Crime, FM, and I liked also Gen X. Thanks, Mr. Waifu. Were you disappointed they didn't switch the character model of Victor Vance in Vice City? Oh, yeah, I heard about that. I was disappointed. Thank you for the super chat, Wolfgang. They could have at least made Vic look like he did in Vice City stories. I don't know why they kept that original look of him. Thank you. Congratulations. Enjoy some Hebrew cash. Well, thank you. Thank you, Big Danny. Thank you, man. What currency is that there? Thank you, man. And thank you, Antonio. Hey, Pro, congratulations on hitting 1 million subscribers. My question for you is, what are your top 3 favorite PlayStation exclusives? PlayStation exclusives. Just games that are just exclusive to PlayStation. The SOCOM series I like a lot. I like the SOCOM. I like the Jak and Daxter games. The Killzone games, Resistance. What else is there that's exclusive to just PlayStation? I can't really think of the top of my head right now. Been here since gun running in 2017. May you reach 2 million subs. Thank you, Twisted Screech. Did I watch Dark Space and Young Yeah videos of the Trilogy? The actual console and PC Trilogy games are just ports of the original mobile GTA games. Oh, they are? Really? No, I should probably check that out. Thank you, Fernando, for telling me about that. Thank you, Travis, for the super chat also. Thank you, Fixer. Congratulations for 1 million. Love your Saints Row videos. Thank you, man. Thank you, Gamer. You got that right, man. 50 plus 50 equals 100, lol. Here's your 100 for all of your hard work. You're giving me inspiration to go back to my channel content. I'm pretty close to finishing my room. I left my 1 million congrats comments on your post from earlier today. Thank you, Gamer. $100 super chat there from Gamer. Thank you, man. Special shout out there to Gamer XD54. Thank you, man. Thank you guys for all the super chat. Thank you guys. I do appreciate it a lot. And thank you, Big Danny, for the super chat also earlier, man. I do appreciate it. Thank you, Robert Paris CO. Thank you, man. And thank you, Brett. $50 super chat from Brett there. Congrats on 1 million subs. Keep up the good work, pro. Thank you. Thanks, Brett. I do appreciate it, man. And Khalil Williams, would you be playing the Warriors at any time? The other Rockstar game? No, I heard of it. I heard it as popular. I'll play it one day. I just won't be playing it anytime soon, because I'm just so busy with so many projects right now. Will you play all the Saints Row games, including the reboot in February? I don't know, because I like Saints Row 1 and 2, I love. Saints Row 3 is kind of like okay for me, but I still don't like it. Saints Row 4 I really don't like, because I just don't like how they got away from the gangs. The reboot, I don't know. The reboot would have to depend on what my viewers want. Because the thing is, I said that I wouldn't play the reboot, and I probably won't play the reboot because I just don't like it. I don't like, the hipsters and stuff like that. I liked it when it was real gangsters. If my viewers really want me to play, maybe I'll do a poll, and I'll just ask my viewers if they really want me to play it. And if my viewers really want me to play it and tell me and tell them what I think, then I might do it. But normally I probably won't do it. Thank you. Thank you there for the super chat, Sean. If and when GTA 6 comes out, what 5 cities would you like to be featured in the game? San Fierro, Las Venturas, Vice City, maybe Carcer City also. Maybe they could add a GTA version of Chicago. That would be nice. Maybe a GTA version of Dallas. Thank you, Sean, for that super chat. Thanks for the guides, man. 3, Mustang or Camaro? Maybe Mustang? I'm not really much of a car guy, though, but thank you, Alex. When will they release Definitive Edition for Steam? I don't know. Haven't they already released it on PC? It's already been released, but then they took it off PC because it was, it's been on there for, like, what, it's been taken off because of the glitches, I think. Thank you, Luke. Hey, Professional, congrats on 1 million subs. I love your GTA Saints Row and Ace Attorney videos. Let's get to 2 million subs next year. Thanks, Luke. I had a lot of fun playing Ace Attorney. I did. Thank you, man. Words cannot express how happy I am for you hitting 1 million subs. I've been subscribed since 80,000 subs. Your GTA guys helped me grind up to 260 million. You're an inspiration and mentor to me. Thank you, Rocket Gamer, and thank you, Sean Harner. Call it Capone City, like Al Capone in Chicago. Capone City. Huh. That might be something they could call it. GG on 1 million. I remember back when you streamed from PS4 on the old Grandma Couch Hall. You made it so far so quickly. Keep it up. Thank you, Mr. Izza. Thanks, man. And will you play any of the older Call of Duty games like the original Modern Warfare Trilogy Nazdrovia? Thank you. I understand what that means also, Bell. Yeah, I will do the old Modern Warfare games. Like, I'll do them. I still have to finish Vanguard, but I'll do them. And I have an outfit like idea for all of them too. Congratulations on 1 million subscribers, Professional. Thank you, Paul. And thank you, Joao C, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Thank you, Nick. I asked a few other streamers this. In the GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition, do the cars have pressure-sensitive acceleration. In the original versions, cars had two modes, light and full throttle. Was curious if this exists in the definitive edition. Thanks. Do the cars have pressure-sensitive acceleration? Light and full throttle. Well, they seem. I'm a little bit confused, Nick. They seem like they gain speed over time. I know that in San Andreas, the original, when you started, like, when you achieved like your max speed in a car, you could pretty much tell, because like the screen started shaking and the car started shaking. So when it did that, you could achieve your max speed. I didn't notice that in the San Andreas Definitive Edition. I think I've pretty much hit max speed on some of the cars, and the screen doesn't like shake when it does that. Can you do a Bloodborne playthrough? Subscribed since 2017. Thank you, Bastion. I have that game actually. I remember from PlayStation Plus, but I'm just so busy with just so many games right now, though, Bastion. So I might do it in the future. Thank you for the super chat. Will you play the Warriors? Huge fan from Ohio. Thank you, Khalil. Yeah, I answered that question earlier. It's a popular Rockstar game, but I just busy with like a lot of other projects. I would have to watch the movie, because it's a movie, right? First, so I'd have to watch the movie and then I'll play the game. Eclipse Sanova, congratulations on 1 million. Shout out from Texas. Thank you, Eclipse, for the super chat. And thank you, Pocket. I know you have a lot of games in the pipeline, but could you consider playing True Crime and or Sleeping Dogs? Yes, Sleeping Dogs on the list. I didn't have True Crime on the list of games that I was going to play, but Sleeping Dogs is definitely on there. So Sleeping Dogs, I'll definitely do a playthrough of. I have a Platinum Trophy in Sleeping Dogs, actually. Congratulations on 1 million subscribers. First time I've been able to catch a live stream. Love your GTA videos. Thank you, TV Fanatic 342. Thanks, man. Congrats on 1 million. Thank you, Shotgun Gaming 515. Jackson Adams. Hey, pro, congratulations. You always make my day with your videos. Keep it up. And am I gonna stream a stream of Bully games? I will play the Bully series one day. I haven't ever played the game actually, but I'll play it one day. Thank you there, Jackson. And Alistair Lewis, can you play Uncharted series and Congo for 1 million? What's Congo? Uncharted series, and is that a game too, Congo? I haven't heard of that. Thank you, Alistair. I know the Congo's a country, but I haven't heard of the game. Congratulations, you reached 1 million subscribers. Thank you, Eddie. And thank you, Pedro Suarez. I can't believe you just hit the million. You deserve this and more. Your GTA lore videos are sublime. Thank you, man. Hey, pro, congratulations on 1 million. Was just wondering if you would ever give Spider-Man PS4 a try. I know you're busy with other games, but just wanted to ask. Yes, eventually I'll play the games. I don't know if I'll do a playthrough of them, but eventually I will play the games. You could hunt for Saints Row collectibles during the stream if you want. Probably not, because I would probably be really distracted with looking at the collectibles, and I want to focus on, replying to as many questions as I can in the chat. But thank you for the super chat there, gamer. But I'll play the Judgment games one day. Congratulations on 1 million subs. Are you going to play the Elden Ring, or are you not a big Soulsborne fan? Are you talking about that new like RPG game that they made? I don't know, maybe. Thank you, Don't Deal. Like, I normally don't play like games like Dungeons and Dragons games like that, but I was into the Elder Scrolls series. The Elder Scrolls series I did like. So I normally don't like that style of RPG, but I did really get into the Elder Scrolls. I really enjoyed that. Man, we just bombarding pro with super chats. Thank you, Bell, and thank you everyone who has super chatted. Rockstar canceled Bully 2 and GTA 6. That sucks. Do you have proof of this? I don't know if they're ever going to make a Bully 2, but they probably will make a GTA 6. I mean, why wouldn't they? It makes them so much money. Thank you, Rook, for the super chat. Yeah, I could do a Bully playthrough one day, Greatest Within. Thank you for the super chat. But, what I was going to say is, For people that were asking me earlier, how I started everything. After I graduated high school in 2012. I went to college in fall of 2012, and originally, when I went to college, I did 2 years of liberal arts undeclared. I didn't know what I wanted to do. People kept telling me that when I go to college that I'm gonna figure it out and then I'm gonna know what I want to do. But I went to college for 2 years and I still didn't know what I wanted to do. And I ended up trying to do history. That's because I like history a lot. But the history program at my school got canceled because it wasn't popular enough. And at that point, I really didn't want to go to college anymore at that point. Really, I didn't. I had good grades in high school, but I didn't really think that I needed college. My mom kind of pushed me to keep doing college. I ended up doing business, and I didn't enjoy business. I didn't like it. I really didn't like accounting, for instance. When I took accounting, I really didn't like that class. And what ended up happening was I ended up going into law enforcement technology, and that's what I ended up graduating in. I got a bachelor's in law enforcement technology. I also like law, and so I ended up doing that. Hey, Pro, congratulations on 1 million. Love your channel, dude. Thank you, Joseph, for the super chat. Thank you, man. So I graduated in law enforcement technology, and I ended up graduating finally. Oh, thank you, Eddie, for sponsoring the channel. I graduated in 2019, so 7 years after I started school, and that was because I did, business for some time that delayed me for like a year and a half. And then I finally got around to doing law enforcement technology, and I graduated in that. But, at the time I was doing also, I was working in retail, which I wasn't really the happiest in. Nice to hear that you'll be playing Mafia 3 someday, even though some people consider it the black sheep of the trilogy. Well, I think Mafia 3 is a great game. I think it's a good game. I just never really had time to play it, but I could do I could do kind of like a review on it and tell you my thoughts. But will you ever play the story mode on GTA 5? Yeah, I'll do that when Enhanced comes out, David. Thank you for the super chat. But So what happened was I started doing like YouTube at the same time. And when I started doing YouTube, I originally started doing YouTube as just something just for fun. Like it wasn't. I never planned on my channel becoming what it is today. I never planned on that really. I think most YouTubers don't. Congratulations. Why did you cut out the intro cutscene of Martha's mugshot mission? I love it and I respect that. Usually you get age restricted. Well, the reason that I cut it out, Michelle, thank you for the super chat, is because I was scared I would get another strike from YouTube because I got a community guideline strike in the past for just playing a violent game. And so even though that scene wasn't violent, it was very much an adult scene. And so I was scared that I would get another strike from YouTube. That's why I cut that out. I also cut out that scene of Millie in San Andreas because I didn't want YouTube to give me another strike. So normally, I have no problem showing these scenes in like games, but just the thing that I'm scared about is just YouTube doing strikes. That's just what I was personally scared of. Thanks for Mark II, can't hit thruster in straight line. Mark II's Rage Crit. Congratulations on 1 million. Love your cosplay wardrobe tour. Thank you, Mr. Kashim. Maybe one day I could do like a cosplay kind of like tour of just the outfits that I have and stuff like that. Enjoy your channel. Have you read Snow Crash? If not, listen to the audio sample on Amazon. I don't know what that is. I could look into it. Alexander, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, John Tetonga. Would I play Midnight Club in the future? Maybe. Midnight Club 3 I think is my favorite one. I like Midnight Club 3 even more than Los Angeles. Do I watch anime? Some. I like Golden Kamuy, Moriarty the Patriot, Mars Red, 91 Days. Have you considered doing something different like movie reviews or analysis videos on your favorite movies? Maybe. I was thinking of doing one on Scarface and The Godfather. Thank you, Don't Deal. I made a comment on the video you made about the train mission in San Andreas that you did. Feel free to check it out when you're able to. Okay, Eric, I'll look into that later. Is there any chance that you will play Watch Dogs Legion Bloodlines? I already have. I did it with cosplay. Just go on my channel and look at the playlist on my channel. There's a Watch Dogs Legion playlist there. Congrats again, Pro. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, man, for the super chat. I do really appreciate it. I don't speak politics on this channel. It's just a very, politics is just a very messy subject. Everyone has their own views. This is a gaming channel, and I just like to, I just like to keep it that way and just keep politics out of any kind of, videos that I make. Do you think GTA Definitive is worth 55? Well, I can't speak for the whole series because I'm only playing San Andreas so far. I mean, I had a lot of people that actually messaged me, like, should I get Vanguard or should I get the definitive edition on the GTA Trilogy? My response was that Vanguard doesn't have the Warzone map yet, which that's supposed to be free, but still it doesn't have the Warzone map until December 2nd, and also because with GTA Trilogy you have a lot more content. Season 1 isn't even out yet on Vanguard. So I just think you'd get a lot more content with it. I know you can't compare the two games, but, a lot of people are comparing those two games and asking which one I should buy right now. When am I dropping the Saints Row 2 video? Tomorrow. Will you do lore videos in the Mafia series? Oh, yeah, I could do that. What's your religion? I consider myself an agnostic. I consider myself more on the believing side. Are there any lore history videos in the works? Yes. I have one on Angelo Bronte that I wrote the script on, but I never recorded the video for Red Dead. And I have a lore video coming out on GTA 4. It's not a history one, but it's a lore video on GTA 4. My favorite NHL team? I don't watch hockey, though. I'm sorry. I just never been into it. You look different. You did something with your hair. LOL. Congrats on 1 million, my dude. Keep being you. You're talking about Saints Row 2. I know that's a funny joke in Saints Row 2. Thank you, Hunter. Where's Saints Row 2? Oh, tomorrow. I'm sorry for Saints Row 2 being a bit delayed. I'm going to start doing Saints Row 2 usually every day. I'm just so busy with just a lot of different stuff. Go back to your life story. Yeah, so basically, when I was doing college, I was doing both. I was working at my job in retail and doing college at the same time. I also did wrong side of the tracks in the first try in San Andreas Definitive. Stuck to the right side of the tracks. I usually jump on the train from the roof to the left. Yeah, it's a lot easier in my opinion. Thank you, Mr. Waifu. So I was doing college, and I was doing I was doing my retail job. Thank you, Charles. Congratulations, sir. Your guides have taught me a lot over the years since you started your channel. Take this small amount as a token of my appreciation. Thank you, man. Is playing Manhunt dangerous to play on YouTube? It is, Victor. And thank you, Victor and Charles, because I just don't know how YouTube would react to that. But, to continue my story, I wasn't really doing YouTube at the time, because YouTube I just did something just for fun. And it was something I occasionally uploaded videos on. My videos were kind of crappy when I first started uploading. Dig your videos doing movie reviews would be cool. Thank you, Welf. And thank you, Michael. Do you think Rockstar ever planned GTA San Andreas stories? I think they considered it, but they stopped because of just how big the map was. They didn't want to do that on PSP. I think the main character would have probably been Sweet if they did it. What are your thoughts on GTA 3 Remastered? I don't really have much thoughts, Drew, because I have barely played it. The only thing I did on GTA 3 Remastered was just jump in the water to see if Claude could swim. That's it. I didn't do anything else on it. So when I play through it, I'll let you guys know what I think of it. I was working at my job. I wasn't happy at my job because when I was working at my retail job, it was like the first year and a half that I worked there, like, really sucked. And I mean, like, really, really sucked. Like, I will play the Sherlock Holmes game, yes. I do play, I'm playing that. So, the first boss that I had was just, a bad guy. He was just a bad guy. Like, and what I mean by bad guy is, like, the boss that I had, like, he pretended to be nice at first. Like, during the interview, I thought that he seemed like a good guy, but, looks aren't everything. And he acted really nice to me and everything like that. He was kind of funny, and so I thought this guy was a cool guy. But first impressions aren't everything. Congratulations on 1 million subs. Been a huge fan since 2017. What are some of your favorite hobbies outside of YouTube and gaming? I like to play billiards, pool. I like to swim. Not much more than that. I do want to learn how to snowboard in the winter. I do want to learn how to do that. So that's something that I want to personally get into. Thank you, Chris, Kali. Congratulations on 1 million. Also, have I ever played Red Dead Revolver? No, but I've watched a full playthrough of it on YouTube in the past. So about my boss, the first boss that I had, the guy would constantly sit in the office. Like, because when I worked in retail, he'd sit in the office and he would just be on his phone the whole time, or he ran a lumber business. And so he was just, a manager at that store just for some extra cash. He didn't take it seriously. Congrats on hitting 1 million subs, bro. You deserve this huge milestone. I've been a sub of your channel since June 2017 with your gun running video. You are a great friend, and I will continue to support you and your channel. Thank you, Lewis. Thanks, man. And we had a lot of fun playing on that House of Ashes together, Lewis. Basically what happened with my boss is he would sit in the office on his phone all the time. He would just be running his lumber business, and then he would come on the sales floor, and he would constantly complain to me and my other coworkers, telling us that we weren't doing our jobs properly. This guy couldn't even answer the phone. He would barely answer the phone. And so we had to, like, ring up all these customers in the front, the registers, and we also had to answer the phone at the same time, talk on the phone and ring up a customer. And you had people that were getting angry at you, yelling at you. This guy wasn't helping at all, if anything. He would throw tons of workload on people. He would mess up people's schedule. He'd mess up your hours, like, really badly. Hey, congrats on the 1 million. Not much, but here's a little something for all the time and work you put in this channel. What made you get into gaming? Oh, I've always been into gaming since the PS1, since the 1990s. Des, thank you for the super chat. And I always appreciate any amount, so don't worry about the amount. I appreciate anything. Thank you, Des, for the super chat. Thanks, man. Anyways, my boss. What really sorry, sometimes get a little stuck talking, but with my boss, what really pissed me off about him, you look like you can live in Montana. I live in the Midwest now. Where I live, it's like it's really cold. Right now it's 33 degrees, which I actually don't even consider 33 degrees cold. But it's I don't mind the cold. I really don't. So I wouldn't be able to live in Florida personally because it's too hot for me. But hello, Pro. I just wanted to congratulate you on reaching 1 million subscribers. Been a subscriber since mid-2018. You inspire me to do YouTube. I learned so much from you. Plus, I do enjoy your content. Keep up the great work. You deserve it. Thank you, DHC. Thanks for the super chat. $50 super chat from DHC right there. Thank you, man. Thank you, Mr. Waifu. Your Saints Row character looks so much better in Saints Row 2 compared to Saints Row 1. Your Saints Row 2 character makes me think of you as an 80s crime film figure. Thank you, Mr. Waifu. What were your first impressions of Vice City when you were a kid? What did you like about it? I mean, I just always liked exploring it. I didn't even know where Vice City was when I was a kid. I didn't even realize that it was Miami. I remember in a past stream you said you enjoyed Sabaton. What is your favorite song from them? Maybe the Cliffs of Gallipoli. That's the name of the song? Maybe. I generally enjoy a lot of their music. Thank you, Belle. Thank you, Mac. So about my boss, what really pissed me off about my boss, like I told you guys, how the guy wouldn't help, with much. He wouldn't really do much to help. And what was really outrageous is he couldn't really, even answer the phone, even to take that workload off of us. And the guy would come down on the sales floor. I'll tell you where my boss is in a moment. Just let me finish the story. Houston gang in the building. Thank you, Alexia. How do you feel about being a celebrity? I don't really consider myself a celebrity average, but thank you for the super chat. So, what happened is my boss would come down on the floor when he barely helped. He barely did anything, and he would constantly complain to the rest of the coworkers. He would insult us, and he had the nerve to actually say to us, he's like, oh, I'm not going to get my yearly bonus because you're not doing your job correctly. And so he would say that to a lot of people, and it was very, very frustrating. And the thing is, though, when you think about that, though, like, what kind of an incentive is that to work harder? Like, your boss basically tells you, oh, I'm not going to get my yearly bonus. It'd be one thing if your boss would tell you, you're not going to get a bonus this year because you're not working hard. But when the boss comes down and says, I'm not going to get a bonus because you're not working hard enough, how is that an incentive to work harder? What, so that the boss can get a bigger bonus? Like, how does that help me exactly? And I know some people could say, you could get fired and stuff like that. Okay, but I'm already making a crappy wage, and I have a boss who's absolutely terrible and not even helping or anything like that. So why would I care? Why would it be an incentive for me, for the boss to get a bonus? But that's the way that this guy was. And the thing is, though, back when this happened to me, I didn't have the courage to stand up for myself. I didn't. People would roll all over me, like, all the time, take advantage of me, and still do to some extent. But I'm a bit different than what I was then. But like, I would never say anything. I wouldn't want to argue. I would just basically do whatever people told me to do. And that was just that. Congratulations, Professional, on 1 million subs. I know a lot of people would probably curse him out if they had that boss. But thank you, John, for the super chat. Would you be playing LA Noire or Mark Echoes Getting Up? I don't know what that Mark game is, but I could play LA Noire one day. Thank you, DHC. Congrats, and just so you know, I love your commentary. Thank you, baby girl, CMG1. Thank you, man. And thank you. I need to head to bed now, so can't stay for very long. Just wanted to say congrats on 1 million. Been subs since 2018. You're one of my favorite YouTubers, so thank you. No, I've only really been to Poland. That's where I've just been there. But that's that is how my boss acted. Are your parents agnostic too? No. My dad is a bit agnostic, like myself, but he's more on the believing side. And my mom is pretty religious. We're both the same age and started off on the PS1. What was the first game that you remember playing? Mine was Driver 1, Bugs Bunny, and Spider-Man. My first game, one of them was Mega Man Legends, which I played on this channel. I remember Driver 2, I played that. I played the Spider-Man 2. I don't think I played the Bugs Bunny game, 5. But anyways, about the boss, what happened to him was, he, there was just some more bad things happening with him. And I remember that I had gotten the most amount of customers to sign up for the email program. Oh yeah, Siphon Filter, I played that also. That was a great game. So basically, the store that I worked at, there was an email program that customers could sign up for. You give your email, and the store sends you basically coupons and offers and stuff like that. And if basically when a customer would sign up the first time, they get a 20% a coupon on their next purchase. And what happened was, I had convinced the most amount of customers to sign up for those programs, because we were supposed to ask customers. So whenever you'd ring up a customer, it would say if they're signed up or not, and we were supposed to ask. And I generally, asked people. I wasn't pushy or anything. I wasn't like that. But, I just said you want to sign up for, give it your email, you get a 20% coupon and stuff like that. And so I convinced a lot of people to end up signing up. Do you have any advice to your younger audience going into high school? Congrats on 1 million, by the way. I don't think really high school, the first years of high school, 9th and 10th grade, I didn't really see much of a difference than middle school personally. A lot of teachers kept saying, high school is stricter, high school is different. Not really. High school, the only difference I saw between middle school and high school is that in high school, you encounter a lot of older people in the hallways. That's it. There wasn't really that much of a difference between that and middle school to me. Some classes a little harder, sure, but other than that, there wasn't really much of a difference for me. What I was saying at my job, what was going on, hey Pro, sending love from Argentina. Have you heard the rumors of GTA 4 is getting remastered? You should totally play LA Noire. Congrats, 1 million steps. I don't know if GTA 4 is getting remastered. I would love it if it was, but I don't know. It's rumors, Thomas. We don't know much more than that. Yeah, but with my boss, it was just, sorry, I'm just losing my track of thought a little bit here. So yeah, the email program. With the email program, thank you, Saucer Cats. My boss congratulated me on signing up the most amount of customers for the email program. And he would say, Patrick, you're going to get a good reward for this. Thank you for helping out. We're going to have a nice talk about this and stuff like that. And what happened was, when I get my yearly review, and I'm supposed to get my raise, he actually forgets at first to actually do my yearly review, which I had to remind him of it. And then when he does my yearly review, do you know what I got? I got an 18-cent raise. That was for the whole year. Him telling me that I was going to get a good reward, 18 cents for the whole year. 18 cents. That's for literally the whole year. Only one time a year do I get a raise like that. That was it. And I'll tell you something. I lived in New York at the time, too. In New York. 18 cents in New York is nothing. 18 cents is worth more in other states. But in New York, but even then, 18 cents in other states is still almost nothing. So that was like what the raise that I got. It was like an 18-cent raise. That was it. I was making a little bit above minimum wage, and that's basically what I got. My whole yearly raise was 18 cents. And this guy was just, total scumbag. But anyways, what happened was later on, and this is going to be a little bit of a long story that I'll tell. But this story here, basically what happened was the boss put me down for an 11 a.m. shift. I remember this. I went to bed at like 3 a.m. Because usually, I only need like 7 hours to sleep, and the store is only like 10 minutes from my house. So anyways, I went to bed at 3 a.m. I was planning on waking up at 10 a.m. 18 cents just for a reward. That sucks. It does, Eddie. And the thing about that is I actually stopped collecting emails after that, because after I got an 18-cent raise, I basically said, what's the point anymore? Asking customers to sign up for the email program. And then they got on my case. They said, why aren't you collecting emails anymore and stuff like that? And I wouldn't really give them a direct answer. I didn't want to argue and stuff, but they started getting on my case after I stopped. They kept saying, good job, we're going to give you a reward. And then when I stopped collecting emails after the 18-cent raise, they started questioning me why I wasn't collecting emails anymore. This is, why I tell people, like, these retail environments, like, working in this is just garbage. So anyways, on this story, this is a long story, I'm telling you guys. But basically what happens is I get put in an 11 a.m. shift. The boss puts me down. I go to sleep at 3 a.m. I usually stayed up late, even back then. And so I went to sleep at 3 a.m. I set my alarm for 10 a.m. I only really needed 7 hours of sleep. I only live like 10 minutes from the store, so, I just get up really quickly, take a shower, and, I already had cereal ready downstairs, just eat that and just go to work. And best YouTuber, thank you, J-Ro. What happens is I get woken up 4 hours later. 4 hours later, my phone rings right next to my bed, wakes me up. Supervisor calls me, not the manager, but the supervisor. And thank you, they call me Fox. Love your content. Congratulations on 1 million. Will you play the SOCOM sequels? Your SOCOM 1 playthrough is my favorite playthrough. Yes, I promise you I will do SOCOM 2. I promise you I will. And I'll also do Operation Flashpoint Red River one day, too. I'll do that game, too. I love that game also. But anyways, I get woken up at 7 a.m. 4 hours later. I had a little bit less than 4 hours of sleep. I get woken up. Supervisor tells me that the manager did not put anyone else in the schedule for opening the store, and I have to come in since I was the earliest. And so now, with less than 4 hours of sleep, they want me to just get out of bed and just come to the store. And I said on the phone, I have to eat breakfast first. And they said, no, don't eat breakfast. Come here. You can eat breakfast here. And I said, no, I'm going to eat breakfast and then I'll come to the store. And so I ate breakfast. I came to the store. Maybe like 7:45. I was still like exhausted and tired. And I was there. I toughened out my shift. I did my work and I left. 2 weeks later, thank you, Anthony. 1/2 pro. First, congratulations on 1 million subs. Deserve it. Hardest working YouTuber. You mentioned earlier you like history, and in your GTA playthrough, Sean Garland, the Irish rebel who got the fake. What do you mean, Anthony? I'm assuming you're gonna 1 out of 2 as a. You have another part to that. I'm confused. But thank you for the super chat, Anthony. So, anyways. I have another 11 a.m. shift 2 weeks later, and this time I went to bed at 4 a.m. and I set my alarm for 10. So I was gonna get 6 hours of sleep. Still, not the healthiest, but 6 hours of sleep. I could still do with that. I get woken up at 7 a.m. again. This time with less than 3 hours of sleep. Supervisor calls me, tells me the exact same thing. Tells me that the manager did not put anyone else on the schedule, and that now I have to come into the store. And then I said, I'm going to eat breakfast first. And then he said, no, don't eat breakfast again. Come to the store right now. And I said, no, I'm going to eat breakfast. And I came to the store. And honestly, I was thinking about not even showing up to work that day. And my dad got so angry. When I went to work that day, my dad was like yelling at me. My dad was basically like, why are you going there for these people? These people are treating you like garbage. Just don't go. And I said, no, I'm just going to go. I'm just going to do my shift and everything. And it was because I didn't know how to tell people no. I didn't. And people would always take advantage of me all the time. But my dad was pissed that I went to work. He said, don't go to work for these people. They don't appreciate you and stuff like that. And so I ended up still going to work and stuff. But $2 from North Korea. It was amazing hearing stories from outside of Ireland, knowing that keep up the good work. Much love from Ireland. Oh, Sean Garland. That was the guy who that was the IRA terrorist that had actually worked with the North Korean government, right? With the counterfeiting. That was him, right? Okay, so I know who you're talking about now. The guy who Derek was based on, because Derek was based on a real person. Okay. But anyways, I ended up driving to work with less than 3 hours of sleep. And the thing is, though, guys, the story gets even worse. It gets even worse. Because when I look out my window, when I had less than 3 hours of sleep, do you know what? And they expected me to come to the store with that. Do you know what was outside my window? A snowstorm. And so I drove through a snowstorm. This isn't just a small snowstorm. I wouldn't say this was a blizzard, but this was a snowstorm. It was difficult to see. The roads were slushy. I drove to the store with less than 3 hours of sleep. I had a 10-minute drive there, but I still, drove to the store with less than 3 hours of sleep. I toughened out my shift. Thank you, Jalix. Hey, professional, congratulations on 1 million subs. The story you are telling is cool, by the way. Who is my favorite GTA protagonist? It's Nico Bellic. Thank you, Jalix. And thank you, H-Boy. So I drive to the store. I get there. I toughen out my shift. Now, remember, I have less than 3 hours of sleep, and I'm exhausted. And I can barely do my work, but I end up toughening it out and do it. I was supposed to leave at 12. So somebody was supposed to relieve me at 12, and another person was going to come in. The guy, I can't even remember the guy's name because it was like 7 years ago when this happened. But the guy that was supposed to relieve me was really unreliable. This was like a cashier that I worked with. This guy was like really unreliable. This guy was like the definition of lazy. This guy when he was supposed to be unpacking boxes in the basement, this guy would just sit on a box in the basement and just text on his phone for like an hour. That's like how lazy this guy was. This guy was so unreliable. This guy was supposed to relieve me at 12 p.m. and I had barely any hope that the guy would relieve me. And I was right. And so at 12 p.m., the guy ends up calling the store. He tells the supervisor that because of the snow conditions outside, he can't make it to the store. He can't show up. And note, when I woke up at 7 a.m., the snowstorm was already going on for a few hours. So I didn't drive through it right when it started. I drove through it right when it was like a few hours in already. So I drove through those crappy conditions, and it was kind of calming down at that point. And so this guy, and I lived farther than this guy. This guy was like 5 minutes from the store. I was 10 minutes. And so this guy refused to show up too, and I was like, oh, great, wonderful, and another unreliable guy. And so I ended up staying till 2 p.m. I stayed till 2 p.m., and I went home. And the assistant manager had sent me like a bunch of text messages that day, like blowing up my phone, apologizing to me over like what the manager messed up my schedule and everything like that. And the assistant manager told me like, I gave you 2 weeks off so that you can relax and stuff like that. But the thing is, she acted like she was doing me a favor. I gave you 2 weeks off so you can relax. The 2 weeks off that she gave me weren't even paid. They weren't. They were just basically 2 weeks that I wasn't working. So she made it seem like she was doing me some kind of favor. But like, I gave you 2 weeks off so you can relax. I'm sorry for this happening. If you were really sorry, you'd give me 2 weeks with pay. That's what, if you were really sorry for something like that, you wouldn't just give me 2 weeks off with no pay. But basically, and she specifically wrote on the schedule, do not bother Patrick in those 2 weeks. And at least I had 2 weeks of peace. Nobody bothered me in those 2 weeks. I had 2 weeks of peace. I didn't get paid, but I didn't care. At least I had 2 weeks of peace that I didn't have to deal with that crappy manager and those working conditions. Thank you, Anthony. Hey, Pro, sorry for not making that clear. That was right about Sean Garland being based on Derek. Congrats again, much. Love from Ireland. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, man. Congrats, Patrick. I'm happy for you. Thank you, Choco Cat, Place. And thank you, CJ, PNE. Thank you guys for the super chat. Now, here's the thing. After the manager messed up my schedule like 2 times that badly, and where I had basically risked my health and my safety by driving through the snowstorm with less than 3 hours of sleep, and also doing like, what was that, 7 to 2 p.m., that's what, a 7-hour shift. So doing that and then driving back home when I was exhausted. The manager refused to apologize to me after that. He refused. He never once made an apology to me, ever. And his attitude was basically like, if the schedule gets changed, it's your responsibility to look at it if it's your schedule. And do you know what? This time he didn't even change the schedule though. He messed up. He didn't put anyone else on the schedule. He put me at 11 a.m. and he put a supervisor at the store by herself. And so I had to come in and I had to cover that shift. And so his attitude that it was, it's my responsibility. You're the idiot who's making the schedule. It's your responsibility. And he would do the same thing to other people. When people would confront him on messing up their hours, what he would do is he would change somebody's hours like one day before working. So like the night before working, they would change their hours, put them on 7 a.m. Then he would call them up at 7 a.m. and he would say like, why aren't you at work and stuff. Like, oh, it's your responsibility. And so basically he wanted people to call the store every single day. So people would have to call the store every single night before closing and to say, did the manager change my schedule? The manager changed my schedule. Every night people would constantly call the store just to make sure the manager did not change their schedule. So like, if you're going to change somebody's schedule, at least have the decency to tell them. And if they can't work that day, you can't be pissed at those people. If you change their schedule and you put them on a random day that they didn't know they were supposed to be working and they had something to do, you can't be pissed at those people. But that's the way that my boss was. He was just a scumbag. And so I'll tell you guys another thing about this guy, about how much this guy sucks. Thank you, George, for the super chat. Hey, Pro, congrats on 1 million subs. You deserve it. Who's your favorite GTA side characters? Roman, you have a picture of him, George. Roman, Jim in The Lost and Damned, Tony in The Ballad of Gay Tony. Who else do I like? Caesar in San Andreas is probably my favorite side character. Woozy also. Who else in Ken Rosenberg? I got a bunch, but anyways, did the manager get fired? I'm gonna get to that. So there was another incident. Oh yeah, another incident that I had with this manager. That also happened to me, but I went to the police. Long story short, the store I worked at got shut down, and I won the lawsuit. I got $50,000 from them. I'm happy for you. I hope that I'm really happy for you, and I hope that store suffered financially because of your lawsuit, because that is unacceptable when they do stuff like this. These companies think that they're untouchable with just the crap that they pull. But I'm happy for you, gamer. I'm happy that you got through that. Feel free to message me like the story on Twitter if you want to tell me. I'll read your whole story. Anyways, there was another incident with this manager, and this incident wasn't nearly as bad as the other one, but it was also like, really bad. Basically what had happened was, a lot of the people at my store that I worked with, they were really unreliable. And so a lot of these people, they would constantly call out. They wouldn't show up to work. Like, the day before, they would constantly call out, over and over and over again. You guys know, anybody that's worked in retail, you work in fast food, you know what I mean. The people that call out, the people that don't show up, people like that. Thoughts on Minecraft? I have it, but I never really got into it. Thank you for the super chat, Nick. Basically, What happened was, I was supposed to be working. I was supposed to be working 3 days in that. I was supposed to be working either 3 or 4 days in that week. I can't remember the exact amount. But anyways, I ended up working 6 days. So I was working either 3 or 4 days that week. I did my first 3 days of the schedule. This is really early when I first started that job. I did my 3 days, and what ended up happening was, my first day off that I wasn't supposed to be working, I get called up by the manager. The manager tells me that somebody didn't show up to the store and that he wants me to come in right now. And the thing is, the way that the manager would say this, he wouldn't ask you, "Oh, are you busy right now? Can you come in? You would really be doing me a favor." That wasn't it. "I need you to come in right now. Somebody did not come in." That's the way that this guy was. And so I did the shift 4 days in a row. Next day, 5th day, I was supposed to be off. I get called up by the manager. Somebody else didn't show up to work again. And so I have to come in now. 5 days in a row that I'm working right now. 6th day, exact same thing happened. Manager calls me up, says somebody didn't come to the store, another person called out. I have to come in. I covered 6 days now. 6 days in a row. So now I'm finally on the 7th day. I'm finally going to have a day off. What happens is, I had made plans with my friends. We were going to hang out. I was going to hang out at one of my friend's house. My other friend was going to come over. We were going to play some video games. That's just, we were going to have a nice night, just hang out with my friend, 2 friends. What ends up happening is, guess what happens on the 7th day? Manager calls me again, tells me that somebody called out and he wants me to come in again. And this time I was a little bit more pushy this time, because normally I always just say yes, and I would just do whatever people told me to do. I didn't really have the courage to stand up for myself. And I told my boss, I'm like, I made plans with my friends to hang out. Like I didn't even say no to him right away, but I just said to him, I made plans with my friends to hang out today. And he says to me, "Oh, just cancel them." That's what he just says to me. And I said to him, "No, I already worked several days. I covered for people several days. Like, it's not my responsibility to constantly cover for people that are not showing up to work. Get pissed off at them, write them up, do something about that. It's like, it's not my responsibility to constantly cover for these people that are just not that are not coming into work. That's not my responsibility." And you know what he says to me? "You're not going to come into work today?" I said, "No, I made plans with my friends." The guy says to me on the phone, "You suck," and just hangs up on me. That's what my manager is. I already covered 3 days that week for him, working 6 days in a row. And the 7th day, which I was supposed to be off, because somebody else called out and I didn't come in, he got all mad at me and just said I suck and just hung up to me on the phone. And the final straw with this guy is, this guy ended up getting a better position in the company. So he didn't get a promotion, but he got a manager position at another store. And the store that he got was a much nicer store. It was a more organized store. It was an easier store to run. And it wasn't in that busy of an area. So he wouldn't be dealing with that many customers. It was closer to his house. So he got a manager position at another store. He got a little bit of a raise for that. And he went there. And he barely told us about this. Congratulations, I won $1 million. Thank you, Captain. He barely told us about this. And he ends up going to this store. But the thing is, though, his second to last day that my manager was working, I wanted to talk to him. And I asked him, like, can I talk to you? And he kept saying to me that he's busy. And so I wasn't able to talk to him the whole day. And then I ended up finally confronting him. And I said to him, "Can I have a raise?" And he's like, "What?" And I said to him, "I did a lot of work for you. I worked really hard for you. I came in on days that I was not supposed to come in. Like, can I have a raise? I know that tomorrow's your last day, but you know how hard I've worked for you. You know that I've done a lot of good work for you. You could put in a good word for the company for me, maybe talk to the district manager, try to get me a raise or something like that." And you know what he said to me? He said to me, "Oh, no problem, Patrick. We'll talk about it tomorrow on his last day." And so basically, thank you, Nick. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. You are, what do you recommend to me? I'll explain it a little bit, Nick. But basically, I came in 1 hour early on my boss's final day to just talk to him, just to see if he'd get me that raise. And guess what happened? He didn't come into work. His final day, he never showed up to work. Did not respond to text messages, nothing. Did not come into work. Told me that he talked to me about a raise, nothing. And the thing is, I talked to the assistant manager, and I said to her, I'm like, what's going on here exactly? Why did the boss do this to me? And the assistant manager basically tells me that I have to take it up with the new manager. And so the new manager doesn't know how hard I've worked, and I basically got screwed over like that. And it was just you probably saw it coming, and the thing is, I didn't. I knew the guy was a scumbag, and he did really scummy things, but just telling me that he to come in the next day and stuff like that. I came in 1 hour early and stuff like that, and then this guy just basically ghosts on me like this. It was just I was pissed. It was just not it was not good. And the thing is, I talked to the new manager about this, and the new manager was actually a really nice guy. The new manager was actually a caring, nice guy, and I told the new manager what happened. I told him this exact story. I didn't tell him all the other bad stories that I told you guys before, but I told him about this incident specifically. How, he told me that he would talk to me. I didn't have proof of this, but it was basically just my word against that manager's word. But I told him exactly what had happened. I told him, this guy was going to this guy told me to come in, 1 hour early. I mostly decided to come in 1 hour early on my own, but he told me we'll talk about it tomorrow, and I decided to come in 1 hour early and just decide to hopefully talk to the guy about it. He just ghosted on me. He just left me, and that was just what I dealt with. But anyways, the new manager talked to corporate, and he got me a raise. He did end up getting me a raise. So the new manager actually did it for me. He got me a raise. But the thing is, though, the new manager, how he got me the raise is he didn't get me the raise through merit. He actually had to play around because the new manager knew what he was doing. He was much more organized, and so basically what he ended up doing was he promoted me to a pharmacy cashier. That's what he ended up doing. Now, I never worked in pharmacy, and I never did pharmacy, but the store that I worked at, the retail store, there was a pharmacy section in that store, and there was cashiers that worked at the pharmacy. The cashiers that worked at the pharmacy, they were a little bit more experienced, and they knew how to make they knew how to do certain things the store cashiers wouldn't, because they were handling medicine and stuff like that. So they knew a little bit more. And so he promoted me to a pharmacy cashier, which the pharmacy cashiers make a little bit more money. Now, I never worked in pharmacy. He told me, "Don't worry. You don't have to work in pharmacy. You can keep doing the same work that you're doing. I'm not going to put any extra work on you. That's fine and everything like that. This is what you deserve," and stuff like that. And he corroborated my story. He corroborated my story because there was actually a supervisor actually ended up overhearing me. So one of the supervisors that I was actually friendly with, a good supervisor, actually ended up overhearing me the other day when I actually talked to the manager, and I actually asked him, like, can I get a raise? Because this wasn't even in the office. This was like actually in the store. And so the supervisor ended up corroborating that story. And on top of that, the new manager actually heard like a lot of complaints from the old workers talking about how crappy this manager was and how bad this guy was. So he realized that the manager was the old manager was a really bad guy. How old are you, professional, if you don't mind me asking? I'm 27. Hi, can you give me some tips for GTA videos, GTA Online, Definitive Edition, Red Dead Redemption, and stuff? I do fact videos and tips, etc., but I need advice how to do videos and content and stuff. Any tips? Also, well done on 1 million. Thank you, the specialist. Thank you, man. Try to, usually, when I make, videos, Red Dead and GTA videos, I usually try to make an outline. So I'll use Notepad or Word, and I'll make, an outline of the video that I'm making. And so if it's, a top 5 video, before I even make the top 5, I have to come up with the top 5. Try to think of a video that other people haven't done before. Try to think of something that, that other creators haven't done. Try to think of something unique, something that other people haven't done, and then organize it. Once you have the video idea, then try to organize the video itself. Make an outline in Notepad, and then try to record it and put it all together, and then proofread it. Before you upload it, check it multiple times. That's the layout that I would do always for my videos. I'm a specialist. But if you guys want to know what ends up happening to the manager, there was never any kind of repercussions against the manager. The manager never faced any kind of punishment. For all I know, the manager is still working at that store. Maybe he's even higher up in the company. This is 7 years now later, but that was just it. And what ended up happening was with this with the new manager that I had, that was that I had him until 2019. So I had him from about mid 2015, April 2015, a little bit less than mid 2015, all the way up until September 2019. That's when I ended up quitting. And when I ended up quitting, I didn't end up quitting because of the toxic work environment. The new manager actually helped reduce the toxic work environment. He was a good guy, and I have a lot of respect for him. But I ended up quitting because I didn't feel like I was being appreciated, not by the manager, but by the company, because I had put a lot of work in for the company, and they denied my raise. Because I asked for a dollar raise, I didn't get the dollar raise, and I got like, I think, a 40-cent raise, which is the highest the manager could actually give me. He couldn't give me higher than that because of just the rules, which I understood it wasn't his fault. But I just didn't feel like a company that I devoted so many years of my life and just worked so hard for, that it would treat me like this garbage. I basically said, you know what, this isn't worth it, and I just ended up quitting. I wasn't like, I wasn't rude about it or anything. I just basically told my manager, I'm putting my 2 weeks in, so I wanted to leave on good terms, and I said, I'm 2 weeks in, and then after that I'm done. The manager understood. There was like no stopping me. He didn't try to convince me otherwise. He understood why I was quitting. And I watched you since you had like 200,000. Great job. Thank you, Andrew. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. I know I ranted about my workplace for a lot, but that's what I went through at my job. And there's a lot of other bad stories. Like those were just only a few. There's some really other toxic stories that I could tell at work. But that job, oh my god, the toxic work environment that I dealt with at that retail job, it was just so bad. It was like literally I could turn a whole retail horror series into this, but it was just it was just really bad, and I never ever in my life want to work in that type of environment ever again, ever. And that's why I'm so grateful to YouTube, and I'm so grateful to you guys for your support, because you helped me get out of that situation, and I don't ever have to deal with that type of stuff anymore. That was just that was just so bad. Thank you, Central Jersey Rail fan. What's your opinion of the GTA Trilogy? Thank you, Michael. I mean, I'm enjoying San Andreas so far. Some of the character animations look weird, but I'm pissed about the 2-player mode being removed and that Tommy and Claude can't swim. I'll be 27 on Wednesday. 27, gang. Well, happy early birthday, gamer. Thank you, man. But with my new manager, what my new manager tried to do is He did kind of try to get me to stay like a few months before I actually told him that I was quitting, which he knew that I was unhappy. I don't know if he knew that I was going to quit right away yet. I actually the funny thing is I actually talked about this in my San Andreas video that I'm actually going to upload later today, ironically. And the reason I actually brought it up was because of OG Loke's mission, when OG Loke is actually working at the Burger Shot, and OG Loke they basically said OG Loke got a promotion. He's working in the air fryers now or something like that. I'll tell you, last super chat because I gotta go to bed. Again, congrats on 1 million, Dobranos. Good night. Thank you, Bell. Thank you, Bell, for the super chat. But, basically, what I'll tell you is, and anybody that works in the retail environment, anybody that works in the food industry, you know exactly where I'm coming from on this. It's not worth being promoted in these industries. It's not worth taking a promotion. Normally, you'd think a promotion at a job would be a good thing, but in these places, it's not. And so, basically, I mentioned that in my San Andreas playthrough when OG Loke got a promotion. That doesn't really mean much, because what happened was my boss, who was the good boss, this is a few months before I quit, my boss saw that I was unhappy. He saw that I was pissed. He could tell. He even said to me, you look really unhappy when you're coming to work and stuff like that. And it was actually you quitting and sharing some of your stories earlier that got me to quit my fast food job and go find a better job, and I did. So thank you. No problem, buddy. And I hope that I helped you get out of that environment. Thank you, man. And thank you, Mr. Waifu. I have top 5 ideas. Top 5 worst missions in Saints Row 2. Top 5 scummiest characters in GTA. Top 5 things Saints Row does that GTA doesn't. Top 5 most loyal characters in GTA. Top 5 dumbest things Lance did. I actually have plans for a lot of these videos, Mr. Waifu. And the thing is, though, I actually had a video planned on like things that Saints Row did before GTA did. I actually had a video planned on that because people call Saints Row a GTA copy, but there's certain things that Saints Row did before GTA did. Congrats, bro. You deserve every bit of this. I've seen you on the grinder sometime. Looking forward to seeing that shiny gold play button on the wall. Thank you, Putter. Thank you, man. I hope you've been well, Putter. I haven't seen you in some time, but I hope you've been well as well, man. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by, man. So, anyways, my manager, he saw that I was unhappy. This is a few weeks before I ended up, few months, I should say, before I ended up quitting. And my manager told me that he can promote me to a shift supervisor if that will make me happy. And I guess, I don't think he was trying to do it to piss me off because, like I said, he was generally a good guy, the last manager that I had. But he told me, I can promote you to a supervisor. And normally people would think that that's a good thing. The promotion is only worth it in manager position in food retail. I would know. I witnessed a friend go from bathroom cleaner to manager. Well, thank you, Gamer, for the super chat. But I'm getting this right now. And so anybody that works in retail, tell me how realistic this is to your situation, or if you worked in retail or the food industry, how much you agree with this, what I'm about to say. So he offered to promote me to supervisor. I declined. I said no. And several times I was asked. Like, they wanted to promote me to supervisor several times. They knew that I was a good worker. They knew that I was reliable. But they asked me several times to promote me to supervisor. And I said no every time. Why did I say no? Why did I decline it? Because it wasn't worth it. Because if I was to be promoted to a supervisor, I would basically get the raise that I wanted, which is around $1 more an hour. But the thing is, though, is it wouldn't be worth it. Because when I was a supervisor, I would have all this extra work thrown onto me. I would be responsible for opening and closing the store. I would be responsible for running shifts. I would be responsible for telling people what to do that day. I would have to keep an eye on everybody, make sure that everybody's doing all their tasks. I would have to directly deal with customer complaints. I would have to talk to corporate if they do some kind of inspection, if the district manager comes in or something like that. I would have to deal with that. I would have to deal with unloading the truck on a truck night. I would have to deal with managing that, coordinating with the truck driver. I would have to be responsible for counting the money in the safe and keeping all the cash together, going to the bank for the company and everything like that, and doing all of that work. Because what I was doing previously is I was a cashier and I was, walking the store floor, organizing shelves, stocking shelves. That's what I mainly did. Going from that to the supervisor doing all that extra work for just $1 more an hour, that is not worth it. That is not worth it. I'm telling you right now, that is not worth it. I don't know, I don't know what these companies are thinking. Like, these companies are stupid. Like, you are gonna promote somebody for like literally give them $1 an hour, $1 more an hour, and throw all this extra work on them, and then you're surprised when they say no. Like, you think they're just gonna go along with it. It's like no. It's like no. And I told my boss. I said to my boss. I said to him, can you do the same thing you did for me with like the pharmacy cashier where you can promote me to a supervisor, but I wouldn't have to do all this extra stuff? Because it's not that I was lazy, but it was that the $1 more an hour, I thought I deserved that because of all the hard work I put in for the company. And if they want to make me do all that extra work, all that extra responsibility, I'm expecting between a $5 to $10 raise an hour. I'm not expecting $1 an hour raise. If they want to give me all that extra work to do, it better be between $5 to $10 an hour. It's giving me $1 an hour more, I'm going to say no. And he said to me, I can't do the same thing I did for you with the pharmacy cashier. If I promote you to a supervisor, you have to do the supervisor task. You have to be responsible for all of that other stuff. And I said to him, no, then I'm not taking the promotion. It's that. I'm not doing all that extra work. It's just not worth it. Be careful. Your boss could be watching you right now. Well, my boss wouldn't be pissed at me even if my boss was watching me right now. My last boss was a good guy, so he wasn't like a bad guy or anything. My first boss was a scumbag, but even if my scumbag boss was watching, I don't care. I'd honestly probably tell him to screw you because like my first boss was a terrible person. He was a bad guy. So honestly, I'd probably tell him to piss off. I don't he was just a bad guy. Hi, Dark Space. My last boss was a good guy. So it was that's just what it was. And it's just and the thing is though is that when I think about it is the honestly when I sometimes I think about it, I think about how my mom and my dad grew up. Because the way that my mom and my dad grew up, like my mom and my dad grew up under communism. And when my mom and my dad grew up under communism, I was thinking like comparing this to the retail like job employment, I was thinking this is almost like the same thing if you think about it. It's almost close, but it's not exactly, but it is similar in some regards. Because when you think about it, when you're promoted to like a supervisor position, and they're only giving you $1 more an hour, you are basically almost making the exact same wage as the other workers. So even somebody that's a lower level in rank than you're basically almost making the exact same amount of money. So everybody's making the exact same amount of money, and some people have more responsibilities than others, and they're making the exact same amount of money. And that's the system that my parents grew up under. It was basically everyone everyone pretty much made the exact same amount of money. It didn't matter what position you were in. Everybody made the exact same amount of money. My parents grew up in Eastern Europe, and this is just, this is the system that my parents grew up under. It was in, and this is just, and my parents even, my mom even said to me that this is pretty similar in a way. So that's just, thank you, Nick, for the super chat. No, my parents were from Poland. They were from Poland, but that was just basically it. And the thing is, though, is that and when there was communism, like in Poland, like the supervisors, they would make a tiny bit more than like than the workers, like a tiny bit more. But it wasn't like significant. It was just a tiny bit more. That was just basically it. And do you know who would make the most amount of money? It was usually like the factory bosses and like it was usually like the people that were really close to the Communist Party, like the suck ups, the people that were just loyal to the government and they would do whatever the government told them to do. Those are the people that usually had a much higher wage than everyone else. Everyone else was basically just screwed over. And so that's basically the system that my mom grew up under. Here, it is. I'm not saying it's the exact same thing, but I'm saying that it is a bit similar because in that regard, that everybody's basically making like the same amount of money. The supervisor is barely making above like what the previous the cashier is, and then you ask yourself, what's the point of like advancing? What's the point of like getting a higher rank? Like what's the point of advancing your way through the company if you're not going to get paid more? That's the whole point. That's the incentive when you want to advance, because you get paid more for it. Were your parents in Poland when Poland was in the Warsaw Pact? Oh yeah, my parents grew up under the Warsaw Pact. That was basically it. My parents had left Poland right before the Warsaw Pact collapsed, but that's my parents grew up under it. Just discovered your videos yesterday. Congrats. It's kind of ridiculous how people that played Call of Duty Cold War think that the Warsaw Pact is just like some fictional faction, but it was actually a real thing. Just discovered your videos yesterday. Congrats. Thank you, Follow. Do you think Rockstar can revive Reddit Online? Well, they would have to do a lot of work if they're going to do that. A lot of work. Yeah, this is a Q&A. Oh, it isn't, Victor. It isn't. I agree with you. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. The thing is, though, is I always remember what my college professor said. My college professor would always say that the system that we have is not perfect. There's problems, there's issues, but it's much better than communism. And that's when you always think about it. That is completely true. We have problems. It's not perfect, but it's always better than what there was under communism, because we have historical examples. We have countries from all over the world where that system was put into place, and everywhere that it was just a massive failure. It didn't work out. You had hungry people. You had massive human rights violations. You had people thrown in prison for disagreeing with the government. You had people that were not allowed to leave their countries. The government would basically imprison people in their own countries. It was just that. So while there's not there's problems, no system is perfect. What we have is much better than communism. That's what my teacher always said. I always liked that quote. Our system is not perfect. It has problems, but it's much better than communism. I've always liked that quote that my teacher said. I don't think a lot of the people that that always talk about how good the people that think that communism is this perfect system, I don't think that those people have ever lived under that system or ever have had any family. I've had family that lived under that system. I've heard horror stories. Like my parents have described to me the stuff that they went through when they had to go to the store at like 5 o'clock in the morning and wait on the huge line. And basically, when they would finally get in the store, there was only like one can of food on the shelf, and everybody would be fighting over it. That's what my parents grew up under. What's up, bro? Congrats. We gotta pop the champagne. Thank you, Big Mike. Your parents witnessed the USSR's collapse. My parents witnessed it just like people in the West did, because my parents weren't in the Warsaw Pact at the time when that happened. Thank you, Master of Disaster. My manager said our company standard is 30-minute lunches, which he changed it himself. I've been working there for 2 years and always got 1 hour lunch and only our department. Well, you know what I'll tell you. So you used to have like a 1 hour lunch, and then your manager changed it to 30 minutes. Well, that's unfair. I'd bring that up to HR if I was you. Say that we've always had a 1 hour lunch, and now we're getting our lunches cut in half. And I'll tell you this: I've seen so many labor law violations, like at my job. I probably could have gotten the place sued, or I probably could have gotten the place shut down. Maybe I should have back then. But it was just, like I said, like years ago, I had no courage. I couldn't stand up for myself years ago. I had barely any self-esteem. People would roll all over me. People would take advantage of me, and that's what happened. But and thank you for the super chat, game owned 1997. Thank you, man. But that was I'll explain to you guys one labor law violation that I saw, which was the 15-minute breaks. So basically, what would happen is, if you were working a 6-hour shift, you qualified for a 30-minute break. If you were working under a 6-hour shift, you qualified for a 15-minute break. And what would happen is the 15-minute break would have to be paid. So the 15-minute break would be paid. 30-minute breaks would be unpaid. Hello, Pro. I made loads of review and tutorial videos on GTA 5. Can you give me any other video suggestions for GTA 5? Well, I don't know if I can really give you a video suggestion, Hellboy, because I don't really play much GTA 5 anymore. But you make tutorial videos on GTA 5. Why don't you try doing some tutorial videos on the trilogy that just came out? There's a lot of trophies, which some people might find some of the trophies hard to do. You could do some videos on the trophy guides. That would probably get a lot of the same people that watch your GTA 5 videos would probably watch that, and you could do another game at the same time too. I plan on doing some videos on the trophies, on a little guide on them as well. Thank you, Conrad. So anyways, about my workplace labor law violations. So basically, what the like I told you, if you worked a 6-hour shift, you would get a 30-minute break unpaid. But if you worked less than 6 hours, then you would get a 15-minute break. And we get 2 15s and a 30-minute lunch. So I'm going to answer your point in the moment there, Stone. So basically, what would happen is, it would be hard enough to take a break. Like, it would be hard to take a break even then, because like you'd constantly ask the manager if you would do you have or had a girlfriend? Like, I don't really date. I don't date personally. I'm not a very social person. Anyways, with the breaks, if you were working a 6-hour shift, eventually you would be able to take a 30-minute break, but it would be really hard to do so. And so, because the managers sometimes, like, if you had a good supervisor on shift, the supervisor was in charge of the breaks, the supervisor was managing the breaks. If you had a good supervisor on shift, then the supervisor would generally, tell you, no problem, you take the break, it's fine, go on break, and that was just it. Thank you, Charles. Another couple bucks for you. In your early streams, you always talked about going out for sushi. What are your favorites? I like all sushi. I don't even know the names of the sushi because I haven't gone in some time, but I like all of them. I like the spicy ones, tuna. I love the shrimp, crab meat. I like them all. Thank you, Pizza Zombie. So, oh, thank you, Game Owned, for sponsoring the channel. So, anyways, what I've witnessed at the job, when I was working under a 6-hour shift, and I had a 15-minute break, what would happen is, when I tried to take that 15-minute break, I would be met with opposition and resistance when I would try to take that 15-minute break, which what they were doing was illegal. You cannot do that according to labor laws. You're not allowed to do that. When people are supposed to take a 15-minute break, and it's supposed to be paid for by the company when you're working under a 6-hour shift. Thank you, Vielke. Congratulations. Thank you, man. And basically, what happens is, um, uh, I had supervisors that would constantly, say to me, "Oh, you can't take a 15-minute right now. You can't take a break right now. We have a lot of work right now to do. You're gonna put more work on the rest of us if you take a break right now. We can't do it right now." I mean, you guys work in retail and fast food. Like some of you guys had that experience what I have experienced, right? You had supervisors to basically tell you the same thing. You can't take a break right now. You're putting more work on the rest of us. You can't go right now and stuff like that. It's like, no. A supervisor is generally allowed to tell you, go on break at this hour and stuff like that. Okay, they could try to organize it and they could tell you, I want you to go on break at this hour. That's fine. It's not really breaking labor laws. But when they specifically try to stop you from taking a break, and you've already been up there for several hours working, and then you can't even take a 15-minute break at that point, and they're constantly arguing with you, saying you can't take a 15 now, and the thing is they keep delaying it. They're like, oh, you can go later once we finish this work. We have a lot of workload right now. Eventually, when you finally finish, your shift is pretty much over, and then there's no point even taking a break at that point. So that's what they keep doing. That's what they keep trying to do that to you. My bro got underpaid for years, sued them, won $20,000. I'm happy for your brother Connor. Thank you, man. Just leave 15 minutes early. They wouldn't let me do that because I had to punch out. And so they constantly expect me to do something. I always ended up staying late. That's what ended up happening. And are they gonna put an extra 15 minutes on my paycheck for me? No, they're not gonna do that. But that's you guys have had to experience that, what I'm talking about there. Some people had to have experienced it. But basically, the really messed up thing about this is that I was very naive when I started working. When I started working in 2013, I was just a 19-year-old dumb kid. When I started working in 2013, I was generally pretty smart in school. I had honors in high school, but I knew almost nothing about a job. And because of that, I was very naive. People took advantage of me. And so what ended up happening was, for the first week and a half, I didn't even know that you were allowed breaks. That's the thing, is that's how ignorant I was. That's how naive and dumb I was. I didn't even know that you could take a break. And so basically, I stood up there for a week and a half. I had 8-hour shifts, and I would stand at the cash register for 8 hours. And I would not even take a lunch break in those 8 hours because I didn't know I was allowed one. And so basically, the supervisors and the manager all saw me standing up there. They knew that I was working. They knew that this was my first job. Not one of them once told me, Patrick, you can go and take a break if you're hungry and stuff like that. Not one of them. Do you know who ended up telling me that I can take a break? My coworker ended up telling me. She's like, you've been standing up here for really long. Aren't you hungry? Don't you want to take a break? And she actually told me that I could take a break. And I was like, wait, I get a break? And I was like, that's just it. They knew. Their argument, if I confronted them on it, their argument would have been like, oh, we didn't break labor laws because you never asked us to take a break. But they knew that I was standing up there for so long. They probably figured that I didn't know that I could take a break. They never once asked me if I could, if I wanted to go on break, and I didn't know about it. And because of that, there was just thank you, Andrew, for the super chat. Well, that's basically it. What I told you with the my parents, fighting over the my parents, not fighting with people, but people fighting in the supermarket over one can of food. My dad ended up getting drafted into the military in Poland because in Poland, if you didn't go to college, you'd be drafted into the military, and the military was basically propaganda for the Communist Party. At the time, it was just my dad ended up cursing them out. He told them to go screw themselves, and he ended up sitting in jail for a few weeks. I don't think he got kicked out of the army, but he ended up sitting in jail for a few weeks, and my dad didn't even do anything. He just basically told them to go screw themselves. That's what my dad ended up sitting in jail for a few weeks when he grew up in communist Poland. My dad, when he was in the military, this was the late 60s. In the late 60s, this was, who was in charge of the USSR in the late 60s? Even though it was Poland always followed the USSR's direction. Damn, who was that? Brezhnev? No, I don't know if it was Brezhnev. Khrushchev was before him. I would have to look up the Soviet leader in the. My dad was in the military in Poland in 1968, so the time of the Vietnam War. But It was let's see, who was the leader? Brezhnev. So it was under Brezhnev. Okay, Brezhnev was the leader at the time. Wow, he was leader from 1964 to 1982, so he was there for some time. But anyways, my dad was pretty lucky that he didn't grow up under Stalin's time, because if my dad grew up under Stalin's time and he said that like about the Communist Party, they would have sent him to a gulag. He would have never been heard from again. That would have just been it. That would have just been it. What a lot of people don't know about is that when Stalin died, the Soviet Union became de-Stalinized. So Khrushchev, I wouldn't say that Khrushchev was a good guy. The guy who ran the Soviet Union after Stalin, he was Stalin's successor, because Khrushchev did do some bad things. I mean, Khrushchev was responsible for the Cuban Missile Crisis. That's what he caused. But one good thing that Khrushchev did do is he de-Stalinized Russia. And he ended up he got rid of Stalin's cult of personality, and a lot of the people that were involved in Stalin's government that were responsible for like really horrible murders, Khrushchev put a lot of those people on trial. And so a lot of those people ended up getting sentenced. Some of them got executed, but because of Khrushchev's reforms in the Soviet Union, that actually ended up saving hundreds of thousands of lives. Because if Stalin's government continued even after he had died, a lot more people would have died. So that's, one good thing that Khrushchev did was when he de-Stalinized Russia, he had actually saved a lot of people, because a lot of people would have died if Stalin's government had continued. I remember how mad you were talking about the Walking Dead series finale reaction video. Are you still mad about it today? Also, congrats on 1 million subs. Oh, I haven't watched that show in years, Octopus. I got so bored of it. I got up to the part right when they defeated Negan, and that was just it. I stopped watching at that point because I got so bored of it. But yeah, when Khrushchev took over, things kind of calmed down in the Warsaw Pact. And, when you would criticize the government, you'd still get arrested, but generally you wouldn't be killed for it. Under Stalin's time, you'd be killed for any kind of criticism of the government. You said in your past video that you had a crappy overworking job. Where did you work and what was your position, as well as why did you quit? I just got out of a bad job and want to hear your story. Well, David, scroll back like 45 minutes in the stream. If you scroll back like 45 minutes in the stream, I pretty much explained everything. It was just a really, really long story just getting into it. I worked as a cashier at a store, and I'm actually talking about labor laws right now, which I'll talk about. Thank you for the super chat. And thank you, Carolsberg. Congratulations on 1 million subs. Here's hoping you hit 2 million very soon. Thank you, Carol. When the Stalin died, the doctor were afraid to cure him. Well, thank you, Eddie, for the super chat. Thank you, Tanner, also. Tanner, thank you, Tanner, Carol. Thank you, guys, for the super chat. I'm answering questions, but I'm, about the labor laws, what I was talking about earlier. So, when I said that these companies, violate labor laws a lot, it was, you guys know what I'm talking about. Oh, did I miss any super chats? I hope I didn't. Thank you, Carolsberg, for that $50 super chat. I do really appreciate it. Special shout out there to Carolsberg. I feel your pain. I used to work at a fast food restaurant. I remember I got a break at the last minute. I was about to leave work, 6 hours work. And yeah, and this is exactly what I'm talking about here. Here's something else. I don't know. I'm trying to remember if this was a federal thing. I don't remember. I don't remember if it's a federal thing or a state thing. But somebody in the comments section tell me if it's federal or state, because I'm sure somebody knows. But I know the labor laws. I just can't remember if it's federal or state. But there's both labor laws for federal and state. But then there's others, for just state. But anyways, in New York State where I worked, if you worked a 9-hour shift, you basically got a 30-minute break, and then you would get 2 paid 15-minute breaks in that time. And I worked several 9-hour shifts. Sometimes I would work 10-hour shifts. Nobody told me about the 2 15s that I would get during that. And so basically, my coworker ended up telling me about this, and it's actually the same coworker that originally told me that I could go on break. And basically, what ended up happening was, she said to me try to take a 15-minute break. Oh, it's federal. Okay, so it's federal. She said to me, try to take a 15-minute break during your 9-hour shift, and you'll see. They don't want you to go. They'll try to make excuses. And then literally, I remember she said to me, watch this. Because the assistant manager had just walked right in front of the register, so me and her were on the registers, right? And she said, watch this. And she walks up to the supervisor and she said to her, I'm going to take my 15-minute break now. And the assistant manager is like, what do you mean? And she's like, I'm going to take my 15-minute break. And then she's like, oh, we can't go. You can't go right now. It's like, are you sure you can take a 15-minute break? And it basically just kept making excuses. Like, the supervisor wouldn't say directly no, but just constantly kept making excuses. And then she said, when an assistant manager walked away, she said to her, you see, they don't want you to go on your 15-minute break. And it was just that is a violation of labor laws. They cannot do that. What they were doing. They would try to, and people in the comment section, let me know. Like, you guys had to have experienced this exact same thing, what I'm talking about, where people, the managers and the supervisors will constantly try to stop you from taking your 15-minute break. They will try to stop you. They'll sometimes even try to stop you from taking your break. They will do everything, just try to keep you working constantly. Thank you, Chris Wilkins. Did you read the policies when you got hired? No. It's like so many pages of a contract. It's like you don't even want to read all of that. I've been watching you since 2017. Congrats on 1 million. Thank you, Heisen, for the super chat. Congrats on 1 million subs, man. Thank you, Jared. My brother worked at a Wendy's and they barely even gave him a break, and all he did was slave away inside while they smoked marijuana in the parking lot and made him stay late and experience that. Yeah, so basically, I encountered a similar situation at my job. That's how I won the lawsuit. Oh, that's one of the best ways to win the lawsuit, when they're violating break labor laws. Thank you, Gamer, for the super chat. I'm really happy for you. Send me you have me on Twitter, Gamer. Send me like the full story later, because I'd love to read your full story on it. Would you add on PSN? I mean, I could. My friends list just might be full at the moment, specialist, but you could tell me your PSN and I could see if I could add you later on. But my jobs sometimes do that, but I tend to go 15 minutes at times. So what I'll tell you is, usually you have this happen at like, don't know, my parents are from Ukraine. I didn't hear anything like that from them. Well, I don't know what specifically you're talking about, but if you're talking about the de-Stalinization, what I was saying earlier is, you Google it. De-Stalinization. When Khrushchev came to power, and I'm not defending Khrushchev. I don't want you to think that. Khrushchev was a bad guy. He did bad things. But the point that I was just making is that when Khrushchev came to power in the Soviet Union, he de-Stalinized Russia. And so he put a lot of the people on trial. A lot of the people were put on trial that were involved in Stalin's government, and a lot of them were punished, sentenced, and executed. Some of them were executed. And a lot of these, if these people were allowed to stay in power, then a lot more people would have died. So basically, Russia stopped a lot of its killings after Stalin died, when Khrushchev took over. Not the Stalinization, the waiting for 5 a.m. for bread and like that. Well, I don't know how your parents grew up, but I was just talking about my parents' story. That they would stand at the supermarket until 5 in the morning. They would wait until the store would open, and then they'd be barely any food in the shelf. But at the time, the government would ration off everything. They tell you how much, they would tell you how much food you could buy when you go to a supermarket. It wasn't even really a supermarket. It was more like a market. But, they tell you how much food you can buy. They tell you how much meat you can buy, how much gallons of milk you can buy in a week. Everything was rationed by the government when my parents grew up. But, going back to the labor laws, they just did not want you to go on break. And the guy that said earlier, the guy that was saying earlier that, you had coworkers, right? A supervisor and then somebody else that you said that they were smoking like marijuana in the parking lot and they would make you do all the work. I had a very similar situation at my job. Very similar. I didn't have people smoking marijuana at my job, but I did have the same situation where I had like a supervisor and like a worker. And usually what happens is when you're at these jobs, what's your most satisfying grief or kill? Maybe the one where I did the video with the taking down the Akulas video, when I did that, dueling the Akulas. I think that might have been my favorite one. Thank you, Mario, for the super chat. But what I'm getting at here is that usually when you work at these jobs, like, these terrible employers and stuff like that, you will encounter like a really bad supervisor that does barely anything, throws all the work on you, and then constantly complains to you when you're not doing their work that they were supposed to be doing. And generally, the crappy supervisor will generally have like a friend, somebody that they're friendly with. And so basically, those people will try to take advantage of you, and they'll basically try to throw all the work on you. Now, I'll tell you guys a story. Another one. When I started working at the job, there was this one supervisor that was like really strict, and she wasn't a bad person. She wasn't. She was just strict. But I didn't understand that at the time. And basically what happened was we had this new guy that came in. I was there for maybe just a few months, so I was still relatively new. But we had this new guy come in. The supervisor immediately gets on his case and just basically starts, just yelling at him and stuff like that. And this lady was kind of strict, but like I said, she wasn't necessarily a bad person. She just kind of sometimes overdid the strictness. But anyways, I told like the supervisor to her face, like right when the other guy was there. And this is one of the few times that I actually, said something. But I said to her, I'm like, in a very nice way. I wasn't like, rude about it or anything. I said to her, he's new. I remember like, you were very strict with me, but I understood and I learned how to do everything. Just be calm and he'll learn how to do everything. And it's fine. And she just kind of gave me a pissed off face and just walked away. And that other guy who was new there, he thanked me for it. He said, oh, thank you for sticking up for me. I said, no problem. It's cool. And basically what happens is I end up working with this other supervisor. This is a different supervisor. This other supervisor, I really didn't like her. And for other reasons. She would do her work. Like, she wasn't like as lazy as the manager. But thank you, Jack Knight, for the super chat. But the reason I didn't like this manager, the reason that I really, or supervisor, I should say, we still call them managers, but she was a supervisor. The reason I really didn't like her is because what she would do her work, but she was the type of, I don't know if she had some kind of, personality issues or something like that, but I'm not a psychologist by any means, but she had some kind of personal problems. I don't know what it was that was going on in her life, but I just know she had some kind of personal problems, and what she would always do is she would always take it out on everyone else. And thank you, Jack Knife, again for the super chat, man. But she basically just took it out on everyone. So she would come into work with a bad mood. She would be pissed, and she would just constantly, yell at people, take advantage of people. Years later, I found out my supervisor was drug. Oh man, totally disgusting. And I respected him without knowing this at the time. Well, that's horrible. I'm sorry to hear that, Art. Thank you for sponsoring the channel again. But that's what I meant by it. That some people, like, you start working with them and you don't know really what that type of person is like. But with this supervisor, she was just constantly, pissed. And the thing is, though, if you really needed her help and you called her to help, she would get really angry at you, like just snap at you. And I'll give you an example of something. Rockstar Games' public status has really deteriorated since 2020. What do you think for their public status is at now? Also, congrats for 1 million subscribers. Thank you, JD. I think that Rockstar has lost a lot of respect with the whole GTA Enhanced. They haven't really released any games anymore. They just I feel like they want to milk GTA Online since the end of time. Thank you, Ninja Gaming, for the super. Thank you, Ninja Gaming, for the super chat. Also, congrats on 1 million. You deserve it, man. Thank you. Basically, with the supervisor. So whenever I would, call her, for help with something, if I really needed her help, she would get mad. She would say, "Do you not see that I'm doing something right now?" And then the thing is, if my work got overloaded and I wasn't able to finish everything when I was doing tasks for multiple people, she would get mad at me and say, "Why didn't you do this?" And it's like, and I would be scared. I would be scared to call her because she would constantly snap. She would constantly have an attitude about everything. And I'll give you a perfect example of something bad that happened, and she violated labor laws. What she did was when I was working on the I was working, they didn't teach me ever how to use the photo machine. There was a photo machine at my job. Congratulations on 1 million, Pro. Which do you prefer, Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network? I like both, but I think when I was a kid, I liked Cartoon Network more. Thank you, bruh, for the super chat. But here's what happened. And tell me, you guys, how many of you guys can relate to this? Because you want to know something? This exact situation that I'm describing, I saw this exact same thing happen on Undercover Boss. Like the exact same thing that happened to me happened on Undercover Boss. And I was actually happy that it happened on Undercover Boss because the CEO had it happen to his face and the CEO got to experience it. But what happened to the CEO? What was the same thing that happened to me? The CEO only got 10 minutes of training. That's what happened. The CEO, I'm trying to remember what it was because it was a YouTube clip that I saw. It was like some kind of restaurant. And the CEO was going undercover in his own restaurant and he had like 10 minutes of training. That was it. 10 minutes of training, and they expected him to know how to do everything after that. And they just basically walked away. And that was it. And they left him all by himself. And he's like, what the hell? What is going on here exactly? And that exact same thing happened to me. Because when I started working in retail, I had to take this 5-hour course. I had to sit through this 5-hour course. And in that 5-hour course, they taught me barely anything. There was nothing of real significance. The only thing that they kept emphasizing is be nice to the customer. That was it for like 5 hours, which is, pretty common sense. That's obvious. Be nice to the customer. You don't want to be rude to the customer. Your job depends on it. But, that's basically the only thing that they've really talked about for those 5 hours. My friend's manager, when he worked at Wendy's, was basically a Marty J. Williams. The manager was super scummy to his workers. Can't go into detail. Marty J. Williams, like the guy from Vice City Stories. If he's like Marty, I already know what type of person he is. Marty was one of the most scummiest GTA characters. But anyways, how many of you guys have had that where you start a new job in retail or fast food, and they basically barely give you any training? They barely teach you how to do anything, and then they expect you to know how to do everything, and then they get all pissed off when you don't know how to do something they never taught you how to do. That's exactly what happened. And I don't understand why they have to teach you when customers are there. Why do they teach you when customers are in the store? I never understood that. Why can't you have somebody come in a few hours before the store opens? Have them come in early, like 2 hours before the store opens, or have them like stay like 2 hours after the store closes or something like that. Like have them come in like, after 2 hours, not be there the whole time, but I mean like right before the store, after the store closes, and then teach them like, what to do when there's no customers. Like teach them like when there's a customer, this is what we do and stuff like that. And just teach them for a few hours how to do it. Why is it that they teach you when all the customers are there, when it's like really busy, they barely give you like 10 minutes, and then they rush you for everything. And the thing is though, is they never taught me how to use the photo machine. Ever. They never taught me how to use the photo machine. And so I spent months there, and I never knew how to use the photo machine. And customers would ask me for help with the photo machine. And I would say to them, I can get somebody to help you with the photo machine, because I didn't know how to use the photo machine because they never taught me to. And when I asked for them for help, they would say another time. And they would never get around to it. And this one customer one time asked me, can you help me with the photo machine? And I said to him, I can get somebody to help you, sir. And he said to me, why? And I said to him, I don't know how to use that one. No one ever taught me. And he said to me, you don't know how to use this? And I said to him, no. And he's like, you're an idiot. What kind of company do you work for? And he just walked out. He just insulted me. So I had a customer, say that to my face once. Dude, I only started working in the workforce a couple months ago, and I had experiences like that. Only I work for a staffing agency and not retail. Oh, thank you, awesomeness, for the super chat. Well, it's like that in a lot of jobs. They'll barely give you any training, and then they expect you to know exactly how to do everything. But anyways, getting back to the photo machine. This supervisor, whenever you would GTA is going to die out is slowly. I think that eventually over time, it is going to lose a lot of its player base. Thank you, Jeffrey, for the super chat. This supervisor would constantly snap at me. Whenever I would ask her for help, she would always say, don't you see I'm in the middle of something? And like constantly give me an attitude. But whenever she needed help with something, you were supposed to drop all your things and help her immediately. And you were not allowed to give her an attitude. That's just the way that she was. And what happened was one time she asked me to help a customer with the photo machine. And I said to her, I can't do it. And she said, why? And I said, because I don't know how to use it. She's like, you don't know how to use the photo machine? And she started giving me an attitude and everything like that. And I said to her, nobody taught me. And she said to me, well, you're going to learn today. And she just basically gave me like just a few minutes of an aggressive teaching on the photo machine and taught me how to use it and everything like that. And Rockstar Games plus Failure plus 2 Interactive versus Bethesda. Which company do you think has more respect for modders? Just an off-topic question. They're both pretty bad. Bethesda charges for mods, and Rockstar sues mods, or Take-Two, I should say, sues mods. They're both really bad. Thank you, JD. I mean, maybe Bethesda has some more freedom because there's a lot of Skyrim mods that you can download for free, but it's just, anyways, with this manager, supervisor, or I should keep calling her manager, she ended up breaking labor laws. Because what she did was, I was helping a customer with the photo machine once. A customer wanted help. And company policy, the company that I worked for, clearly states that when you are helping a customer, you cannot leave that customer until you finish helping that customer. That is exactly, what I when I was working, that was the policy. It would always be, if you're in the middle of helping a customer, you can't leave until you finish helping the customer. And guess what happened? She was demanding my help when I was in the middle of helping a customer. Even though whenever I would ask her for help, she would always yell at me, don't you see I'm in the middle of doing something? Give me an attitude. But then when I'm in the middle of doing something, she thinks it's perfectly fine to just interrupt me and just get me to stop doing my work and come on over to help her. But basically, what happened was, she wasn't even doing much at this time. She was sitting in the office. I don't even know what she was doing in the office, but I got paged to the front. So the cashier paged me to the front. And I told the cashier, I said to her, that I can't help right now because I'm helping a customer with the photo machine. And the cashier said, okay. And the cashier ended up calling the supervisor down to help with the line, even though I was helping the cashier. The supervisor doesn't see me on the camera because the photo machine was not covered by the camera. She gets all mad. She thinks I'm slacking off or I'm not doing something that I'm supposed to be doing. And she goes down, helps the customers with the line. Then she finds me right after I finished helping with the customer, thinks that I was doing absolutely nothing, walks up to me and says, you didn't help when she called you to help with backup and stuff like that, and now you can't go on your break. That's what basically she says to me. And so she basically told me I can't go on my break. And I didn't know how to stand up for myself. I didn't. I didn't know how to stand up for myself, and so at the time, I didn't go on break that shift. I know some people would have cursed her out. Some people probably would have walked out if they were in my position, but I didn't know how to stand up for myself. I didn't. And that was just that. And I did the whole shift without my break. And what ended up happening was, I told her after my break ended, I said to her, I'm like, listen, I was helping a customer with photo. And she's like, what? What do you mean? And I was like, I was helping a customer with photo. And when I told her that, she just didn't say anything to me. She just gave me a pissed off stare, and that was just basically it. And I went home. And the thing is, though, I'll tell you this. This supervisor that I had, she ended up getting fired. But she didn't get fired for all the bad things she did. She didn't get fired for, being just nasty to people. She didn't get fired for stuff like that, for breaking labor laws, telling people that they can't go on break. You know what she ended up getting fired for? She ended up getting fired because she helped her scammer. I had a bad supervisor, Jeffrey. I had a few bad supervisors. She ended up getting fired because she helped her scammer friend scam the company. That's what she ended up getting fired for. Because what happened was, we would have a lot of customers that would come in that would try to pull scams. So customers would come in, and they would constantly try to pull scams. And there are so many different scams that these people would try to pull. But generally, the most common scam that I noticed, was they would come in, and they would either have fake coupons, which were not for the item specifically, and if you refuse to take them, they would complain. They would say, oh, it's a coupon, you're supposed to take it, and they would constantly complain until you took it. So you'd basically be taking coupons for something that wasn't even for the item. They would have either fake or counterfeit coupons. Yes, people do counterfeit coupons. or they would try to return stolen merchandise. And so what people would do is, the gift card scams, I've also seen those, Meryl. Usually old people will come in, they'll try to buy a gift card, I'll ask them what it's for, and the old people will say, like, the IRS called me and said I owe taxes, or they would say that my grandson is in jail and I have to buy gift cards right now. I saved a lot of seniors from getting scammed. Usually these scumbags target elderly people. But anyways, the other scam, they try to return stolen merchandise. And when they try to return stolen merchandise, what they basically will do is they will come in to the store with something that they've stolen. So it's something that they've stolen previously. And usually it's a pretty easy red flag to tell when it's a stolen merchandise scam. Basically what would happen is usually the people that are doing it are pretty young, and on top of that, usually people in their 20s, they never have a receipt. They act very suspicious. It's always the same story. My grandmother or my mother didn't want it. No explanation other than that. And it's always like the same item. It's usually like an expensive vitamin or an expensive probiotic. That was always what it was. So it was young people, no receipt, expensive probiotic or vitamin. And the reason it's always a probiotic or a vitamin is because in that section that they were taking, there was no cameras. And so they knew about that. And so the reason it's a probiotic and a vitamin is because it's when you think about it, it's a probiotic. It's pretty expensive because it's small. It's like a jar. And so it's kind of expensive. It's worth a lot of money. And it's small. So it's easy to conceal and take, and it's worth a lot of money. Anything that's small and worth a lot of money has a really high rate of being stolen. Because it's small, so it's easy to conceal, and it's also worth a lot of money. When you have those two things together, usually that item is a massive target for shoplifters, when it's small and it's worth a lot of money. Heard but some people saying definitive trilogy is a disaster. Should I experience it firsthand or save myself the disappointment and watch gameplay instead? Well, I would watch my playthrough of San Andreas, because I'm commenting. I actually experienced a glitch. The part that I'm uploading on San Andreas today, I experienced a glitch on it, and it kind of pissed me off, and I'm going to talk about that today on the OG Loc missions. I'm going to upload that in like an hour after this stream. But just check out my playthroughs, and I explain everything in there. Thoughts on milking GTA 6? Well, the GTA 6 isn't going to come out anytime soon, Andrew. Thank you for the super chat, though. But, anyways, what happened was, the supervisor that I told you about, she got fired for, helping her friend pull a scam. The thing is, though, is customers would come in with expired coupons. One guy actually mentioned it. Yes, it was a Mad Dog glitch. It was that mission, Felix. But customers would come in with coupons that were like 5 years expired. I'm not even joking on that. Like, they would come in with such old coupons. And basically, the policy that we had at the store with the crappy manager was take everything. There was basically like, even if it's expired, take it, because we don't want them to complain. We don't want them to call corporate. Why would you care if a scammer is going to call corporate? They're scamming the store. But that was just a policy that they had. And what happened was, there were several customers that would come in with these counterfeit coupons constantly, all the time. I would be able to see the coupons fake. The coupon's not for this item. And I would try to tell this manager, and she would she constantly never wanted to deal with it. She would say, do it. She would just constantly do that because she didn't want to deal with it. She was just a scummy manager. She was like, she was always busy with something. She had an attitude, and so she just basically kept saying, do it. And what ended up happening was, her friend would come in, and she would buy hundreds of dollars worth of merchandise, and her friend would always use all these counterfeit coupons. I knew the coupons were fake. I tried to tell her about it, but she wouldn't listen, and so she ended up bringing up her friend a bunch of times. And what ended up happening was, corporate saw that this one customer was coming in, and they were buying like a lot of merchandise. They saw on their computers, and she was barely paying anything because of all the coupons. She would come in with hundreds of dollars for merchandise, use all these counterfeit coupons, and she would barely pay anything, only a few dollars. And corporate saw that, and saw that the supervisor was the root supervisor was the one who constantly like rang her up and ended up firing her. And that was just basically it. And she was just basically fired. That's it. Like right that. I was actually glad in a way, because she was a really bad supervisor. She was not a good person at all. And she had to have known that it was a scam what her friend was doing at that point, because of just how many times she was doing it. In GTA San Andreas Definitive Edition, it experienced the glitch on CJ Arms. Yep, that. And then I experienced the Mad Dog glitch, which people are probably going to know what the Mad Dog glitch is. I had that happen to me. Manager talking rude. Afterwards, she asked if I understood her orders. I kept saying no purposely to annoy her. Don't talk to me rude, and expect to walk away scot-free. Well, thank you, Gamer, for the super chat. And it's good that you're able to stand up for yourself. I wasn't able to stand up for myself, unfortunately, a lot, and people took advantage of me. But that was just what it was like at my job. I know I've been talking about my job for so long, but that's just backstory for like the type of environment that I worked in, and moving on from that, I don't want to talk about my job anymore, the job that I had. But I was not happy at that job. Long story short, and what ended up happening was I still did college at the same time. I was doing college and my job. And eventually, with YouTube, I did YouTube for fun. I actually beat Wrong Side of the Tracks on my second attempt on the OG PC version. Oh, that's good. Mario, thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I mean, you would have to stay at a little bit of the edge so that Big Smoke can get his shots in, but it's still a challenging mission. So what ended up happening was, and I always did YouTube occasionally for fun. My videos were sometimes kind of crappy, my early videos, and eventually when Gunrunning came out on GT Online, I did gun running, and when I did gun running, what happened was my channel blew up. So I had gotten like 400 subscribers in like a week, which at that time, that was insane for me to get 400 subscribers in a week, because my channel was only like 300, 400 subscribers at the time. And so for me to get that many subscribers that quickly, that was just insane for me at the time. And so I did more gun running videos. And my channel kept getting bigger and bigger. I started eventually doing streams, and the thing is, I always grinded on GTA even before my channel got popular. I always grinded. I always made money on these games. I always did the activities and ran these businesses and stuff like that. And so I just kept showing people how to make money in this game. I did streams, guides, all this stuff, and that's basically how my channel took off. And I started getting more and more popular over the years, and it got to the point where I was making more money with YouTube than I was with my job, and I still kept my job around for like 2 more years, even though I was good on YouTube, because I was thinking that I might eventually get a good raise at that job, but I was very naive. And I was stupid. But eventually I had a lot of work on me. Like I was doing my job, that toxic work environment. I was doing college and I was doing YouTube. And I sometimes had people complaining to me. There's like, where's the GTA video and stuff like that. And so I would just get stressed out. I would try to put out a GTA video every Saturday, and it was just it would just get really stressful and just really overwhelming. I had a lot of stress. I had anxiety. It was just not it was just not good, and I knew I had to do something eventually. And I ended up, first I graduated college, which took a huge workload off of me because I just had work and work and YouTube. But eventually I ended up quitting in September of 2019. Mr. Bosro, I hate him so much. Well, thank you for the super chat, Jeffrey. Yeah, I mean, I got clickbaited by that channel like years ago, just seeing those videos pop up, and then I was like, oh my god, with this, and some people are just unfortunately really dishonest. My most viewed video had 500. How do I get people to subscribe? Well, the thing is, though, Specialist, what I'll tell you is, the worst thing that people do when they start a YouTube channel, the worst possible thing they do is when they do the sub for sub thing. I don't know if you've ever heard for that. There's people on YouTube that do these live streams, which is sub for sub. And basically what happens is the person does the live stream, a person will come in the comment section and they'll say a sub, and then the person on the stream subs back. And they do that just to build their subscribers. Now the thing about this is sub for sub is a really bad way to do it, because the people that subscribe to you aren't subscribing to you because they like you. They're subscribing to you because you subscribe back to them. They're not going to watch your content. They just subscribe to you. That's it. And there was actually this one guy that I know that that I was subscribed to, and I never even subscribed to him for the sub or something, but I just subscribed to him because I saw him on like a stream once, and he eventually got to 10,000 subscribers, and most of his subscribers were from the sub for sub thing. And when he actually put out videos, it would almost get no views. He wouldn't even get 100 views. Like, that's how little views he got, because like no one was interested in watching like the videos, because they weren't interested in him. They were just interested they just subscribed because he subscribed back to them. And what ended up happening was the guy just deleted his whole channel. He just basically gave up because no one was watching his videos. And so that's why I say sub for sub is like one of the worst ways to possibly grow a channel. Professional, congrats on your 1 million subscribers. Keep on inspiring. Every video game you play, you cosplay it. Hope to see other games soon. Thank you, the VMH 108 Productions. But if you want to know, is there any way I can contact you for Twitter? I'd love to collaborate with you on a Saints Row video I have planned. By the way, congrats on 1 million. Thank you. I'll follow you on Twitter. RPG gameplay. I'm assuming it's the same thing. RPG gameplay. Let me do it right now. I'll just do it right now. Let me just see here. Thank you for the super chat also. I'm pretty sure I've seen your videos. You were the guy who talked about like the things that Saints Row the reboot is doing wrong, right? Like you did some videos on like the things that you don't like that the reboot is doing. I think I saw your video. You were were you the guy that I watched that talked about health bars? Because I saw somebody on YouTube that was like talking about health bars. I remember like a few days or like a week ago, I watched somebody that was talking about the health bars, and they were talking about the combat, and that might have been you that I saw. On PS5, San Andreas keeps crashing after showing me Glen Park at the beginning of the Doberman mission. It was a checkpoint, so now I'm just locked in. Oh, I really hope I don't get that. That's why I always manually save also. Let me see. Can I find you here? Okay, hang on. I'm gonna go to your YouTube channel, and I'm gonna see if on your YouTube. I want to see if on your... Okay, I am subscribed to you. I am. I think you were the channel that I watched. Oh, the pros and the cons. That was the video that I watched. Okay, so you were the guy that I watched. Okay, wait. I think I found your Twitter. Okay, I followed you on Twitter, RPG. Okay, I got you here now. RPG, just send me like a message on Twitter, and I'll just reply to you, because I'm following you now, so you should be able to send me a message now. Also, one thing I know is that money don't mean crap if your public status is that of a degenerate, which Rockstar Games is about to reach. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I'll bring it back to this point in a little bit, JD. But the person that was asking me earlier about subscribers. So I said that the sub for sub thing is really bad. So people probably wondering, how do I get subscribers? What I will say is never, ever ask for subscribers. There's nothing wrong with telling people, like, for instance, if you guys watch my videos, I tell people at the end of the video, when I watch it, I say, if you guys enjoyed the content, drop a like, and if you're new to my channel and enjoy my content, then subscribe to me. But I say that at the very end of the video. I never say that at the beginning of the video. I always say that at the end of the video. And I say that because I tell people, like, you know, if you enjoy my content and you want to see more of this, then subscribe to me. That's generally what I say. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I see a lot of YouTubers do is they make a mistake where they do it like the first 2 minutes. They say, oh, you know, please subscribe to me. I make new content like this and stuff. Don't do it within the first, like, you know, 5 minutes of the video. Don't do that. Do it at the end of the video. Because at the end of the video, once people see your whole video, and they like your content, at that point, they're going to be like, I like this guy's content. And then this guy's asking me if I could subscribe. Yeah, sure, I'll subscribe. But don't do it in the beginning of the video, because when you do it in the beginning of the video, people are going to feel like you're being pushy. So just don't do it. Don't do that. And also, the person that was talking about money, some person said that you could have all the money but be a degenerate. That's exactly what I'm talking about with the clickbaiters. Because in regards to clickbaiters on YouTube, these clickbaiters, they have destroyed their reputation. They have no credibility. They have barely any reputation. Because think about it, if these clickbaiters were to actually make a good video, let's say they actually made a good video, something actually interesting that wasn't clickbait, people normally who watch their channels would say, oh, this guy's a clickbaiter, this is probably clickbait, when it's not even clickbait one time, and won't even watch it. And so they've lost a lot of people. They just initially rely on those initial people who come in and get basically tricked. They get tricked by the clickbait. They see a video, they see GTA 6 revealed or something like that, and they click on the video, thinking that it's real, and they get tricked, and they give the person a view, and that generally happens. And I'll say this about me is, what I'm really happy about with my channel is that not only do I have 1 million subscribers now, which I want to thank all of you guys for the support. It means a lot to me. But the fact is that people like me and generally like my content. If you look at my videos like generally most of my videos have a 95% like to dislike ratio. Generally most of my videos, like the Saints Row and the San Andreas videos that I'm posting, it's like 99% likes. I'm not even exaggerating that. It is literally 99% likes on the San Andreas and Saints Row videos. So I know that people enjoy that content. They like me as a person. But if you look at the clickbaiters videos, it's like, usually like 60% likes and like 40% dislikes, which is like really bad. And you see that like half of the people are generally pissed off. And I don't even know how half of the people aren't, but half of the people generally are pissed off. And so that's the thing is, if I had a choice, would I rather have 10 million subscribers and be super rich and hated where people hate my guts, or have 1 million subscribers, not necessarily be rich, but be able to make a living off of YouTube, and people generally enjoy my content and like me as a person? I prefer that one, because I like that people actually like me as a person. They like me as a person. They see me as somebody that they can relate to. I'm myself. I don't put on a fake personality. Like a lot of people put on personalities. I don't do that. People say that I don't laugh. They say that I'm not funny, but I don't try to be funny. I don't try to pretend to be somebody that I'm not. I'm always myself, and I never put on a personality. And that's what I'm proud of. People like me. They don't see me as a scumbag, but generally, like, when you think of my channel, generally, like, what do you think of when you think of my channel? You think of, like, this guy does lore videos. Like, years ago, people might say, okay, this guy was a hardcore grinder, but now, people look at my video now, they generally, the first thing that comes to their minds is he does a lot of playthroughs, usually gangster games. He dresses up, he cosplays a lot, he does lore videos. That's what, people generally know me for. But when you think of the other people on YouTube, when you think of, I don't want to, bring up any names, but, I think you guys know who I'm talking about. When you think of those channels, the first thing you basically think of is clickbait. You basically think of, GTA 6 clickbait. That's like the first thing that you think of when you think of some of those. And I'm talking about the channels that have like over 1 million subscribers. Like I think 2 million now. So like the channels that have like, have a lot of subscribers, you generally think of them as clickbait. It's the first thing you think of. You don't think like reliable or anything like that. You just think generally clickbait. Thoughts on YouTube removing dislikes from public view? I'm going to have a video talking about that, a crazy current events video, when I get around to it, Bunny. But I'm going to tell you, though, it's going to be a disaster, because removing dislikes shows people, like, when people click on a video, the first thing they see is the like to dislike bar. And they can generally see what people think of the video before they watch the whole video. And so, who's going to like this? The clickbaiters are going to like this. That's what they're gonna love that there's no dislike bar. Because now you're going to click on those clickbait videos, and you're not even going to realize that it's clickbait until you watch it halfway through, and you're like, oh, I got clickbaited, damn it. And so basically the clickbaiters are going to benefit greatly from the fact that the dislike bar is now removed. Which songs were you the most annoyed to see cut from the later releases of classic GTA games? Well, I don't know all the songs that got removed, Mario, so I can't make a comment, but thank you for the super chat. Yeah, Zach is a pretty cool guy. I like him. Pearl, there's 3 missable trophies in GTA San Andreas. Mad Dog Stealth Mission, go to Torino without directions. Get to the army base without raising the alarm. The thing is, though, is that does San Andreas have a mission replay? Does anybody know? Can anybody confirm that for me? Does San Andreas Zach Cox, he's a pretty cool channel. I would suggest you guys check him out. He's a pretty cool channel. But anyways, no, it doesn't. Oh yeah, it was World. It was Cold War, but. There's no. Are you guys serious right now? There's no mission replay like even when you beat the game. Wait. So even when you beat the game, you gotta be kidding me. So even even when you beat the game, there's no mission replay. Seriously. That's so stupid. That's so stupid. Then, um, uh, but like, what the hell? Then like, how the hell are you supposed to like finish these? How are you supposed to get these missable trophies? What happens if you beat the mission? If you beat the mission, but you don't have a manual save before that, like what about? There's one person said there's a trophy to sneak into the military base without getting detected. That's like 3/4 through the game. That's like the Las Venturas part, which is like close to the end of the game. So basically, what the hell? Like do they honestly expect you to like go through the whole game all over again just to get that one? No, that's so stupid. Oh my god, that better not be the case, because if it is, most people are telling me it is, so I guess it is. But I swear, if that is the case, that you cannot do a mission replay, I would take points off of the game. When I was doing like a review, I'd take like 2 points off of the game, or maybe even a point, just for like it not having a mission replay. That's really frustrating. Saints Row 1 and 2 have mission replay features, something that GTA didn't have until the Ballad of Gay Tony. So dumb it isn't in the definitive edition either. Yeah, I actually, it's one thing I want to talk about in the Saints Row video. Copland is impossible to beat in definitive edition Vice City now. You and Lance automatically die every time, no matter how far you run away. Oh, that's horrible. Well, I have to look at that. Thank you, thank you there, T-Mac and Mr. Waifu. Hi, Professional. I just want to say congrats on 1 million. I first subbed by viewing your GTA Early Signs, Smoke, Betray, and Lore videos for uploading amazing content. Thank you, GD. And thank you, Gamer. Removing dislikes doesn't prevent a channel from making a pinned comment saying dislike button, and use the likes to measure the dislikes. I guess, but it would just be really awkward too. But the thing is, the clickbait channels aren't going to do that. But basically, you know, going on with my like my YouTube channel, and like what ended up happening to me is so get this. I got, you're a Rockstar shill? No, I'm not. What are you talking about, dude? Do you even watch my videos? Like it's what are you talking about? I don't even, damn. I don't even know what this guy is talking about. I don't know how that's got to be like a troll or something, because like honestly, like you guys that watch my channel, the people that do watch my channel, tell me, like, how many videos have I made attacking Rockstar? The people that watch my channel, like it's honestly just it's got to be a troll at this point. It can't be serious. Are there some different games you'll play for this channel, like Silent Hill, Resident Evil? Maybe I'll play the Silent Hill games one day. I think I'd be more interested in that than Resident Evil. Oh, I don't have a girlfriend, Kevin. I don't date. I'm just not into relationships personally. I'm just not a very social person. Thank you for the super chat. You don't attack Rockstar. Making criticism is not attacking. Well, yeah, I agree with you, but the point, you know what I was getting at. Criticizing Rockstar. Yeah, I shouldn't have used attacking, should have more used criticism, but anyways, what I was saying was, with my YouTube channel, what happened with my YouTube channel was it took off with GTA Online, and what happened was I started uploading like some other games when I was doing like GTA Online. So I started growing massively on GTA Online, and when I uploaded like when I did like a when I did a what is it, a San Andreas Part 4 will be tonight. When the first few months after I'm sorry, I'm just losing my track of thought here, everyone. The first few months after I had actually started growing my channel with GT Online content and actually doing pretty good on the GTA Online content. What happened was I got bored of GTA Online because I was just, constantly playing it every day. I was streaming it every day. I used to stream GTA Online every day and then make videos in those same days. And that was like such a lot of work, a lot of stress, anxiety. Can't believe you're still going on the stream. I'm still watching. So here's another super chat. It's appreciated. Thank you, Charles. But anyways, what happened was when I would post a GTA a video or a stream, it would get a decent amount of views. And when I posted like GTA streams where I was doing GTA streams, I should say, did not watch your Ace Attorney videos, but how much did you enjoy the game? 10 out of 10. 10 out of the then IDE Dogs for Life. I really liked Ace Attorney. It was my favorite game of 2021. It was an awesome game. But anyways, one day I decided to stream Battlefield 1 because I streamed GTA Online. Yeah, I have 450 days played on GTA Online. So I decided to stream Battlefield 1 one day because I didn't feel like playing GTA Online. I already streamed GTA Online numerous times in that week. So I decided to stream Battlefield 1. And what happened was, whenever I would do a GTA Online stream at the time, I'd get like 200 viewers, like, consecutively. And for most of the stream, which was like really good for me at the time. Love from India Professional. Congratulations. What do you think about the GTA Trilogy? Is it worth it? Love your walkthrough. Thank you, Sri Prakash. I'm enjoying San Andreas, but I can't speak for the whole trilogy because I barely played 3 in Vice City. I just tested the water in them. But anyways, so I was getting 200 viewers, consecutively on GTA Online streams. And what happened was I decided to do a Battlefield 1 stream one day because I wanted to play another game. When I did that Battlefield 1 stream, I got like 10 viewers. Instead of getting like 200 viewers, I had gotten like 10 viewers. And out of those 10 viewers, most of them were actually asking in the comments when I will be playing GTA Online. A lot of those people weren't even there to watch the Battlefield 1 stream. I don't think the Titan glitch has been patched over 5 years later. I think it occurs when you make a drop while sharply ascending or descending. Yep, it happens. I don't believe it's patched either, Mario. Thank you for the super chat. Rockstar's is incompetent. If they can't fix the mission, they just remove the glitch. But anyways, for people that heard the story, you know where I'm going with this. So what happened was eventually I had this one guy come in. I was getting confused because I didn't understand why my GTA videos were getting like such massive amounts of views, but then when I played like another game, I would get such little like views on like my streams and my videos. I didn't understand it. I thought that maybe like people weren't getting notifications or something like that. Maybe it was like glitching out with like non-GTA notifications. I would probably make a video about the 1920s and like the Prohibition and Mafia Wars. Austin, thank you for the super chat. But it'll be open world, by the way, and it would have a business aspect to it. But anyways, I had this guy come in to the chat, and the guy basically said to me, it was that the reason I was getting such lower views on the non-GTA videos was because people simply weren't interested in my other content, and it kind of like, I wouldn't say it got me depressed, but it made me feel like crap. And this guy came into the Battlefield 1 stream, and he literally posted a comment, which I'll never forget. It's like one of the nastiest comments that I've ever seen. This is before I had a filter turned on for the comments. The guy posted a comment, and he said specifically in the comment, he said this to me. He said, I subscribe to this channel for GTA, not Battlefield blank. Play GTA right blank now, or I'm going to blank unsubscribe. I think you guys know what was in blank. And for me, I was just shocked when I saw that. I was like, what? Because it was like, I did not understand, like, I didn't understand why somebody could get so angry because I played a different game. Like, what's the big deal? Like, I played GTA that whole week, GTA Online, and I had one guy get like super angry that I just played like a different game. Like, I didn't understand what the big deal was. What was there to be pissed off about? I didn't understand it. Who do you vote for? And happy for 1 million for you. I don't talk politics on this channel, Kevin. It's as a gaming channel. Politics is a messy, divisive subject. But thank you for the super chat. And thank you, Eric. $50 super chat from Eric. I already commented on your million subscriber post earlier today, but I just wanted to say congrats again, Patrick. Your channel has grown so much, and you deserve every bit of the success you've achieved, and then some. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Eric. Thanks, man. And thank you, thank you, Eric. $50 super chat. Shout out to you, Eric. Thank you, AJ Shop. Congratulations for 1 million, pro. Your GTA content helped me through a rough time in my life, so I'm grateful for all you do. Stay safe and take care, and keep going, man. Thank you, AJ Shaw. Congrats on the milestones, pro. Thank you, Chaos. Thanks, man. Really don't understand the people that sub for or specific video games or content. Yeah, I don't get it either, dogs. And you know the thing that I'll always say to those people is like, you know, the people that like complain and they get like so angry, like when a YouTuber when they subscribe to a YouTuber for like one specific game, and if that YouTuber does like videos on a different game, they get all pissed off and everything. And my response to that is basically like, if you don't like the game they're playing, then just don't watch it. It's as simple as that. Don't watch it. Don't go to the video. Don't comment. Don't watch it. Just watch the other content that you're interested in. Or if you're really that pissed off that's bothering you so much, and I guess unsubscribe. You know, there's nothing really much more. But like the fact that they will go to like the videos that are not related. So like in my case, and the people that have been with my channel for like years, you guys know what I'm talking about. Like a lot of you guys are new to my channel. Like a lot of you guys that are watching now, you guys found me in the last year because my channel has had a huge growth when I started doing the new content. I did end up losing thousands of subscribers. I lost thousands. Like you know, a year and a half ago, I lost so many. I probably might have lost up to like 50,000 subscribers, like something along those lines. The reason you never saw me go negative, even though I lost probably like 50,000 subscribers, is because I was gaining subscribers at the same time. So I was losing subscribers, but I was gaining subscribers. So it was both. But the rate that I was gaining subscribers at, it was always more positive. The reason that I know that I was losing subscribers is because I checked out the analytics. And I saw like people were unsubscribing, especially on like the non-GTA videos and stuff like that. And the thing is, though, is, you know, basically my attitude to that was, you know, is that I'm sorry I wasn't able to keep you happy. You know, if you're that pissed off that, you know, I'm doing something else, playing a different game, and if you really don't want to watch my channel anymore, then okay, you know, fine. I hope everything works out for you. I'm sorry to lose you as a viewer, but, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not going to be bossed around, and I'm not going to be told what game I can and can't play on this channel. I spent years of my life building this channel, and I'm not going to have somebody, you know, tell me, like, you know, you better play GT Online or I'm going to unsubscribe. Like, you know, I play whatever I want to play, and if they don't like it, you know, then I guess, you know, the only choice for them is to unsubscribe. So that's just basically it. Guns don't kill people, video games do. If Rockstar Games doesn't get their stuff together and do something good that may quote something good that quote may become a reality. Why? I don't know what you mean by that, JD. Thank you for the super chat. You're referring to that Jack Thompson quote that he said that against Rockstar before. Thank you, Bunny, for this for sponsoring the channel. The Bogdan problem was a setup by Avon. Well, it was, Pierston. Don't worry about it. I've heard other streamers say they always get backlash when they switch games. Ask the Genshin streamers about it. Do you? Oh yeah, and thank you, T-Mac. And I substituted the GTA content, and I was getting bored after a while and got more interested in the channel when the walkthroughs came. On the topics of other games, have you ever played any of the Tony Hawk games before? No. I used to play the PS2 ones at a friend's house when we were kids, but I never owned any of them. But, you know, what I'll say is that when a channel diversifies their content, you know, their content is just more diverse. There's more stuff to watch in their content. It's not boring. It's not the same game constantly. So I don't know why anybody would be against the channel diversifying itself. Why would you want a channel to only be one game? Like, why? Like, I don't understand the reasoning for that. Like, it's like if the channel is a lot of different games, the channel is more diverse in content. It has more to offer its viewers. I don't understand why some people just want everything to be the same game, and if it's not the same game, if it's not just GT Online, well then they get mad. It's just the people that have been subscribed to me for years, because like I was saying, I've had a lot of new subscribers in the past year from the new content. The people that are subscribed to me in the past year, I have used to be my channel. I used to be just GT Online, like mainly GT Online. I did some Red Dead content, but it was mainly like GT Online. And what happened was I got so sick of GT Online. I hit like $1 billion. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to play like other games, and so I said to myself, I'm gonna expand my channel. And when I started like expanding and playing like other games, I had like a really bad backlash. I had people, like, you guys seen the comments. You guys seen the nasty comments that I got. Like, you know, people basically telling me, oh, you're not playing GTA Online anymore, professional. Well, screw you. Like, you know, comments like that. You know, I'm gonna unsubscribe. You know, I used to respect you, professional, but now you don't play GTA Online. I'm done with your channel. Like, you know, I'd see comments like that. Like, you know, just people saying like nasty things to me. And it's like, I have 450 days played on GT Online. 450 days. That is not playing for a little bit every day. That is actually 450 days of game time. 450 days of game time. And let me see. How many hours is 450 days? Let me see this right now. 450 days is 10,800 hours, it says on Google. 10,800 hours that I have spent playing GT Online. And the fact that I get burnt out and bored of the game, and I don't know how somebody can get angry at me for that, for getting burnt out of it. Pro, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend Thief by Michael Mann. He's also made Heat. I could look into that art. Thank you for the super chat. Have you ever thought of playing Fallout or Just Cause? I've played both games. I haven't done it on the channel, but I've done both games. I used to do streams of Just Cause 3 a long time ago. Thank you, Tanner. But I had that exact thing, you know, happen to me. You know, people got mad that I was they got all pissed off that I wasn't doing GT Online as much. And what I'll say, you know, what got me out of that situation was I did something that a lot of other YouTubers don't. And just one moment, guys. Let me just get a drink. I'm just gonna get a bottle of water here. I just need something to drink because I've been talking a lot. Okay. So what I was saying now, and thank you, Eddie. I heard about the GTA 6 clickbait since last year, but I still don't trust them. Don't ever look at that. It's just there's no, you know, proof of any GTA 6 like leaks. So look, I did something on my channel that a lot of YouTubers don't do. And do you know what that is? I looked at the future, not the present. Because what a lot of YouTubers do is they look at the present. They look at how many views they're getting right now, and they basically, the way that a lot of YouTubers like see it is they basically think, how can I get the most amount of views in 24 hours? And they feel like if a video doesn't get a certain amount of views in 24 hours, they feel like they failed in that video. And so that's not the way I see things. The way that I see things when I look at a video is I think about it, how much views can this video get over time? You know, how many views is this video going to be at a year from now? How well is this video going to do a year from now? That's the way I look at it. And that's the same way that I look at it when I see my channel. I think of it, you know, where is my channel going to be a year from now? What am I going to be doing a year from now? And I said to myself, do I really want people to think of my channel as just GT Online, as just that? Like, no, I want my channel to be diverse. There's plenty of games that I enjoy doing, and I'm going to play these games, you know, regardless of whether people are nasty to me, whether people are you know, whatever they're doing. If they're going to unsubscribe, then they're going to unsubscribe. There's nothing I can do about that. You know, it's their choice. But I'm not going to be bullied and, like, bossed around and told, like, you know, what game I can and can't play. I got, like, you know, I'll tell you something, guys. Like, in 2019... I was really close at stopping my YouTube channel in 2019. I wasn't gonna like delete my channel but I was like close to stopping it. Like I would have just stopped uploading. And the reason that I was about to stop uploading was because I was getting bullied and like harassed like really badly. Because what happened was I was posting like Sniper Elite V2 videos, which Sniper Elite V2 is one of my favorite games of all time. It got remastered, and so I was playing it. I was playing on the hardest difficulty. And whenever I would post a Sniper Elite V2 video, I would like post in the top comment on the video, and I would say, please don't post like GTA Online comments here. The reason I didn't want to see GTA Online comments is because it's a Sniper Elite video. It has nothing to do with GTA Online. I don't have a problem with answering GTA Online comments, but I just did not want to see it on a Sniper Elite video. I wanted people to focus on the Sniper Elite video. I wanted people to appreciate the video that I put out. I wanted people to enjoy that. And what ended up happening was the comments got bombarded with GTA comments regardless. And I had people that were just being nasty to me. They were just saying, bad things that I was playing Sniper Elite. They're saying, "Oh, play GTA Online. This game sucks," and just a bunch of stuff like that. And the thing is, though, is the same thing happened with Red Dead Redemption 2. When Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, I kept telling people several times. I said several times on the channel, I'm gonna do both Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA Online at the same time. I never said that I'm going to stop the GTA content. I said I'm going to do both at the same time. Congratulations, professional. Hard work pays off. Thank you, Tam. Thank you for the super chat. So anyways, what ended up happening was I did, both, I played both games at the same time. I started posting Red Dead videos, and nobody really said anything about it. Thank you, Chase, for the super chat. But the moment that I started posting Red Dead content, and the people that have been with me for a few years, you know what I'm talking about. Kevin says he remembers it. So they remember what happened. The second I started posting the Red Dead content, I started getting mass dislikes on it and stuff like that. I started getting like spam, like I've never seen before, like people just being nasty and just saying like bad things in the comments, just and the whole reason they were getting pissed wasn't even the fact that my videos were bad or anything. It was that I was doing Red Dead content, which they didn't want to see. They were getting all mad about that. They were getting all pissed that I was doing Red Dead content, and they were basically they were leaving nasty comments. But here's the thing. What they don't understand, and I tried to explain these people. I tried so badly to explain it to them, but no matter how hard I tried to explain it, no matter how many comments I posted, no matter how many videos I posted, no matter what I did, I would never be able to get through to these people that were spamming. It's like talking to a brick wall. I was never able to get through to them. I was never able to explain anything to them. But basically, 450 days in a game is some insane dedication, but if you're sick of it, then you're sick of it, and that's perfectly fine. There will always be people that want the same one game forever, but you do you. Thank you, Arcoda, and thank you, Nelly. I've been subbed since 200,000. You made me a lot of money in GTA Online, and your GTA walkthroughs are amazing, and the lore videos are very informative. Thank you, Nelly, and thank you for staying with my channel for so long. But here's the thing. I had the exact same thing that happened to Angry Joe happen to me. When Angry Joe started doing like the movie reviews and he started doing like the playthroughs and the live streams and stuff, people started getting mad at him. They're like, "Where's the angry reviews?" and stuff like that, and just kept giving him a hard time over it. It was the same thing with my channel, but with GTA Online content. They're like, "Where's the GTA Online content?" stuff like that. And there was like people that were posting comments just like what happened to Angry Joe. There was people that were posting comments on my channel and they were saying like, I remember one professional used to post like a GTA Online video every day and stuff like that and stuff. And I'll tell you guys right now, like, that is not true. Like, you could make the argument that I don't really post GTA Online anymore, okay? I haven't done it for some time. But, like, back then, I would do GTA Online regularly, but I wouldn't, like, go crazy. I used to stream GTA Online, like, every day, but that was more like 2017. In like 2018, thank you, Bad Gamer. Hey, Pro, you inspired me to make my first YouTube video. Thank you, Gamer, and I hope your channel works out for you. But what happened was, they were spamming, like, I remember a professional used to post a GTA Online video every day and stuff like that, and that's not true. I would post a GTA Online video every Saturday. It was a top 5 every Saturday, and then I would stream Red Dead on Friday, GTA Online on Sundays and Wednesdays. And so I kept that schedule for some time. And what I started doing is, when I started streaming Red Dead on Fridays, and I started posting Red Dead videos on Saturdays. So I'd post both a Red Dead video on Saturday and a GTA video on Sunday. I still did 2 GTA streams a week, where I did Red Dead streams once a week. So it never cut the GTA content. When I started doing Red Dead content, it was still the exact same amount of GTA Online content as before. Red Dead content was not affecting it. It was the exact same amount. And what ended up happening was the people kept spamming saying, like, post GTA, nobody wants to watch this stuff, when it was still the exact same amount. In fact, the Red Dead content was actually extras. It was actually extra videos. But these people didn't understand that. I talked to one of my friends about this. I asked her, why are people getting so angry at me over this? Over the fact that, like, I'm still posting the same amount of GTA Online videos, but why are they getting so pissed that I'm posting, like, Red Dead videos occasionally? And you know what she told me? She told me is the way, the people that are complaining, the way that they see it is, if you have extra time, why are you making Red Dead videos instead of GTA videos? That's the way they see it. And that's the way they see it. If it's not a GTA Online video, then it sucks. And that's unfortunately the way that some people see it. And those people bossed my channel around for like so long. Eventually I had it. And I just said, enough of this. Like, I'm not going to have people like, demand like this to me and tell me what I can and can't play on my own channel. I remember when I subscribed your channel when you have more than 900,000 subscribers. Well, thank you, Eddie. So you subscribed to my channel when I started expanding, because I started expanding when I was like around 800,000. Our channel name Awful Workplaces is the future for people that have job problems. We do party chat interviews on PS4. Thank you for bringing awareness. Well, thank you. Thank you, man, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, man. And I hope you are bringing awareness to, like, toxic work environments that people have. Okay, and thank you, dang. Are you what? I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what that means. Have you ever thought about growing out your hair? Not really. I've never been really into long hair. I don't mind long hair on characters in video games, but not in real life. Thank you, Gusher, for the super chat. But that was that's explaining my backstory and what happened, and what I'll say is that I almost stopped doing YouTube entirely because of this. I lost like 5,000 subscribers in like a week and a half just doing the Red Dead content. That is literally what happened. Like it's just people just being nasty to me, getting mad that I was doing Red Dead content. And some really ignorant comments, like people saying all you do is ride around on a horse in this game. This game sucks. GTA is better when you can't even compare the games. Like dumb comments like that I just saw. And how do you edit your videos? If it's a simple enough project, I might use Movie Maker. But if it's something more complicated with effects, I'll use Premiere Pro. When I almost stopped doing YouTube entirely in 2019, I almost gave up because I kept getting. I felt like I was trapped in this endless box of GTA Online, and I felt like I could do nothing else besides GTA Online. I felt like I couldn't break out of this box. I felt like people were gonna boss me around, constantly tell me like that I could only play like this one game and nothing else, and I felt like my channel was never gonna go anywhere because of that, and I almost stopped entirely because of that. I eventually, I went back to doing GTA Online for some time because I was scared about my channel dying, like these people were saying at the time, but I ended up changing my mind later on. But if you guys want to know how ignorant some people are, I got a comment on a Sniper Elite video once, where this guy commented on GTA Online is a cool game, but the toxic players and griefers give it a bad name. Plus, Rockstar neglect to fix all the game-breaking glitches. Yep, Titan glitch is still in the game after some time, Mario. Thank you for the super chat. But I had a guy comment on a Sniper Elite video once, and he literally commented like, stop playing this game. If you don't stop playing this game, I'm gonna unsubscribe. Like, comments like that. And I was nice to him and all, and I said to him, I'm like, listen, I'm sorry if you're gonna go and everything, but this is my channel. I decide what I want to do. I'm still doing the same amount of GTA Online videos, and I want to play Sniper Elite, and I'm not gonna be told what I can and can't play. And I'm sorry to see you go, but this is my channel at the end of the day, and I'm deciding what I want to do. What happens is this guy ends up deleting all his comments like a few hours later. A week later, this same guy comments on a Sniper Elite video. And I think he deleted this comment too, because I would have loved to save a picture of these comments and post them on Twitter, but because they were just so good. They were such interesting story. Favorite cartoon and movie. Thank you, George. I mean, maybe Courage the Cowardly Dog was my favorite cartoon as a kid. Movie, maybe The Equalizer, an old movie, Scarface. But anyways, the guy who was complaining commented like a week later. And he, I don't hate GTA Online. I don't know what you're talking about, Kitty's World. I'm just bored of it. But he came back like a week later, the guy that was complaining. And he came back on a Sniper Elite video, and he posted a comment, and he said specifically, you're pretty good at this game. When are you going to upload the next part? When's the next part? And I replied to him, and I said to him, didn't you tell me like a week ago that you were going to unsubscribe if I kept doing Sniper Elite? Like, why do you want it all of a sudden now? And he said to me, yeah, but that was before I gave the video a chance. That was before I actually started watching it, and you're pretty good at this game. This game is pretty cool. I like the bullet physics and everything like that and stuff, and I want to see more of this game. And I was basically like, I was basically thinking to myself like this. I was like that, like what I was thinking, because I was thinking like I at least the guy admitted that he was wrong, but at the same time if the guy would have given the first videos a chance, he wouldn't have written those comments, saying I'm going to unsubscribe if you don't stop playing this game, because the way that a lot of the people that ended up unsubscribing on my channel, they refused to give other content a chance. And so what they ended up doing was, a lot of these people, what they would do is they would just click on a video, like if it's not GTA and I posted it, they would just click on the video, they would just probably pause it, and then they would just leave a comment saying like, I don't want to see this game, play GTA Online, and they would just leave the video. And so they wouldn't even watch it. And so that's basically like, that's what a lot of people did. This guy started watching the videos and actually enjoyed it. And that's what I was always saying. Maybe people would actually enjoy the content if they actually gave it a chance. But a lot of people don't want to give other content a chance. The way they see it is, if it's not GTA Online, then somehow sucks in their minds. But that's that's what happened with that guy. And for some time, you get subscribers from GTA 5 players, so don't blame them. I'm not blaming my subscribers. I'm talking about the people that were bullying me on my channel like a year and a half ago. I'm not blaming my subscribers. This was a small group of my subscribers, but they were very vocal. They were very vocal, and anybody that was literally that was there at the time knows it. Like, there's people in the comment section that know exactly what I'm talking about. They were there when these comments were appearing. They saw these comments of people being nasty to me. Now I barely see these comments of people saying like, barely see these comments of people saying, play GTA Online, this game sucks. Occasionally I'll see a comment which will say, why did you stop playing GTA Online? But I won't see like any comments like from like, what I saw like back in the day of people saying, play GTA Online, I'm going to unsubscribe. That's I didn't really see those comments much anymore. And the reason that those comments don't exist is because either the people complaining gave my new content a chance, or they unsubscribed. And I think that a lot of those people unsubscribed, because I did check analytics. I lost a lot of subscribers. I lost I think somewhere around 50,000 subs, because I lost a lot of subs when I did the new content. I took a big hit on my channel, also in subs, and I took a big hit in views. But I'll say this, it was worth it. It was totally worth it, because now I fully recovered and I'm gaining subs and I'm gaining views. And so my channel has made a massive recovery in the new content, and now my channel is completely different. I barely see comments like that of people complaining, of telling me what I can and can't play, and now I just do other content. And that's just what I've what I do. I play other games. What changed my mind was Ghost of Tsushima. When Ghost of Tsushima came out, that was my favorite game of 2020, and I loved that game so much. I did a playthrough of it, live playthrough, and I had people come in and just complain it's not GTA. I said, you know what? Screw this. I'm gonna play this game. I like this game. I had so much fun with it, and I'm not gonna let anybody take that away from me. I'm gonna play this game. If people complain, they complain. I'm gonna play this game regardless. There's a lot of hate directed at you then, yeah. But I ended up playing it, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna start playing other games, other content, and I think I think other people were noticing it at the time, because I saw people were talking on Twitter, some people were talking on other YouTube videos. They were saying that I was expanding my content, that I was changing up my channel. Like there's a lot of people that were like saying that I wasn't being serious. The Polaroid, thank you. Congrats on the milestone, Rationing. You inspired me to get a PSP and Vice City stories because of the walkthrough. Any idea where Vic Vance lore will come? When I beat Vice City, when I beat the Vice City Definitive Edition, I'm going to do a video on Vic Vance. What was Mafia Definitive Edition series? That's where you found me. Why do people care so much about one game? I don't know. I think it's more about organization. I think it's more that organization and demanding. Like the people that complain, they have everything like neatly organized in their heads, and they're very demanding people. And so they specifically subscribe to a channel for only like one game. Like for instance, me, GTA Online. So they subscribe just for GTA Online. And when I upload something and it appears in their notifications and it's not GTA Online, it basically throws them off, throws their whole organization off. They get angry and they say, no, not this. I want to see GTA Online. And so people just get really demanding with, that type of stuff. Yes, I will play the other Dead Rising games. I just don't know when. But that's what, unfortunately, some people were like that. And the thing is, though, is a lot of YouTubers, when they try, like, other content, they experience the same thing. They experience a backlash. Can you believe my 50s dad says GTA 5 better than 3D's GTAs? I don't know about that. Like, I think GTA 5 is the weakest storyline out of all of them. Oh, okay, serious. But I still kept playing, new content and doing other games, and I didn't let that get to me. And I said to myself, I'm gonna do what I'm passionate about. And remember those comments that from like a year and a half ago, for people that were there in a year and a half ago, you know what I'm talking about. There was comments of people that were basically saying, "Oh, he doesn't mean it. He doesn't mean it." When he sees that his views are gonna drop, he's gonna go right back to making GT Online content. Like, I saw comments just like that, and literally my views dropped. I lost subscribers, but I never went back to doing GT Online content. I still kept doing the new content, and I think that shocked a lot of people. I don't think people were expecting that. I think people were expecting that I was going to keep doing GT Online. But no, when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something. I keep my word on it. And that was that. And I took a big hit, my subscribers and my views, but I never stopped. I kept doing the other content. People were spamming me that I was killing my channel, but I think it was in their minds that my channel was being killed. What I was doing is I was saving my channel for the future. I was expanding my channel for the future. That what those people don't understand is that when I posted like the non-GTA videos, sure, they might not get a lot of views, but as the GTA content. But what they didn't understand is that those views are going to grow over time in those videos, and that's going to attract a wider audience. People from all different people interested in all different types of content are going to find my channel. Some interested in Red Dead, some interested in GTA, some interested in Watch Dogs, some interested in the crazy current event videos. There's so many games that I did that I'm attracting a wider audience. And these people tell me that I'm not going to hit 1 million subscribers. I'm going to kill my channel and everything like that by doing new content. Well, right here, you can look at my channel as proof that if you try really hard, you can expand into other content. Don't listen to the people that tell you can only do like that one game you started on and you can't do anything else, because that is a load of nonsense. We grew this channel. It was successful, and we did really well on it. And that's basically what happened. I'm very proud that I was able to grow my channel, that it grew so much, and I want to thank everybody for their massive support, because you guys helped me get through that. I felt like crap at times, but like you guys backed me up on that, and I really appreciate it. I do have a Twitter. I don't have an Instagram. It is 11:01 where I'm at. I wouldn't be watching you right now if all you did was Red Dead Online or GTA. Good decision. Thank you, Jill. And that's, it attracted a lot of viewers. And the thing is, Ace Attorney is the longest playthrough that I've ever done in this channel, like 40 parts. And the thing about Ace Attorney is, Ace Attorney wasn't as popular as my other series, but I still did it because I wasn't just looking at the views. I was looking at it and playing it because I enjoyed that content and I want to share that experience with other people. I got the same outfit as Naruhodo. I dressed up as Naruhodo when I played the game because I wanted to do something interactive. I wanted to do something different, and I decided to cosplay. That's what I decided to do on my channel, make my channel more unique. And so when I was checking the analytics on the Ace Attorney videos, I lost a lot of subscribers when I posted the Ace Attorney videos. But what happened was I checked the analytics now, I'm gaining subscribers because a lot of people are searching up Ace Attorney and they're finding me for the Ace Attorney content. So I did get a bunch of subscribers from the Ace Attorney content. That's what the people that were complaining never understood. But that's basically what happened. And I am here today where I am. My favorite gangster game, Saints Row 2. I feel you on the content thing. People get really mad at me when I don't make a Saints Row video. I'm trying to branch out as well. Well, what you can do, RPG gameplay, you can do exactly what I did. When I branched out on my channel, I did both GTA Online and the new content. So I would post both GTA. I would post the same amount of GTA Online content, but then I would post, other new content, and I would, do that over time. And then eventually, when I felt comfortable enough, I started just moved in primarily into the new content. And, the people that are complaining over Saints Row content, those people really have nothing to complain about. If you're still doing the same amount of Saints Row videos and you post like an extra, video of like a different game, they have nothing to complain about because you still posted the exact same amount of Saints Row videos that you're posting about. I only found your content after you posted your classic GTA videos. I never watched any of your GTA Online content. Oh, well, thank you, T-Mac. Pro, you're a GTA legend. I was a GTA Online grinders, but is dead. Thanks for making us rich while it lasted. Well, thank you, Russian Cat. I bet when you do your playthrough GTA 5, I bet you're still going to get comments asking for GTA Online content. Yup. I might get comments of people saying like, "Oh, look, he came back to GTA Online." I might get comments like that. Like I had people do that when I did the GTA Online, like when I did Cayo Perico and I did tuners. I had people do that because I didn't play GTA Online for months, and then I came back and I did the Cayo Perico DLC, and people were saying, "Oh, look, he's coming back to GTA Online for views and everything like that," and it was never about that. If you visited my Red Dead streams, on my Red Dead streams, I said several times on my Red Dead streams before Cayo Perico came out, I said the next time I'll play GTA Online is when there's a new DLC. And the reason is because there's something new for me to do. If I was to play it right now, I'd get bored. So I gave people my word that I would do GTA Online, do some GTA Online content when Cayo Perico came out, and I kept that word. I never broke it. And I did the same thing for Tuners. I said when Tuners comes out, I'll do the content on it. I did the content on the Reddit updates as well. Congrats on 1 million subs. Just started watching your videos like 2 months ago. Great content, dude. I'll be a fan forever. Thank you, Vinny. And thank you, Zayhan. Man, you look tired, LOL. Will you make a second channel? Also, do you like Trilogy so far? No bug? I encountered a bug in the Mad Dog mission, which I'll upload actually right after this stream. Do you ever go back to GTA Online for fun or curiosity? Not really, no. You definitely said that word for word. I remember clearly. Well, thank you, Mad Scientist. Am I going to play a game tonight? Well, not on the stream. I'm going to have a part of San Andreas up soon. One last super chat. I was so happy when I woke up to you hearting my comment. Congratulations on your post. I struggle with trying new games and other media, but from here on out, I'll do my best to try new things. Well, thank you, Mr. Waifu. Do I like Assassin's Creed? I like the old ones. I don't really like the new ones. Thank you, Mr. Waifu, for the super chat. What is the worst Saints Row game, excluding the reboot? Saints Row 4, in my opinion. You look like you're ready to take down some ballas in that hoodie. Yeah, this is my CJ cosplay. Thank you, Trevor, for the super chat. I speak Polish also, Squid. But, that's my channel is proof that you can expand a channel. Don't listen to the people that demand, one game constantly. Don't listen to the complaining and stuff. You do you, and it'll make you happy. And the thing is about it is, even though I was making, less money than before, I was getting less views on, my new content when I started to expand. I was more happy than I've ever been. Because now I was playing whatever game I felt like playing, and I didn't feel like I was just trying to push myself to do a GTA Online video every week. I found you through TGG as he put you as #1 top GTA YouTuber in a top 5 he did. Then watching your channel, you've got me hooked on new games. Thank you, Lek5. Do you take vitamins? Just vitamin D and calcium. I'm not really much into sport games. I'm just a little tired. Opinion on the new Battlefield? I mean, it's fun, but it's really boring if you don't play with friends. Pro, I know you from GTA Online stuff, but the thing that made me stay with you was when you upload the Call of Duty Cold War playthrough. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Rafi. Why would Rockstar not check the definitive edition for bugs and glitches? Did they just make the game and throw it out there? Come on. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times the developers do that, David, unfortunately. It was probably Take-Two that probably pushed them for a holiday release. Probably what happened. Could you do some more unboxing videos? Yes, I will actually have an unboxing video on the House of Ashes Pazuzu edition. I actually have that, and I'll do an unboxing on it soon. What do I think about Vanguard? I think that it's I think the story is enjoyable. I haven't beaten it completely. I think the multiplayer is better than Cold War, but I think Cold War zombie mode is better because the zombie mode on Vanguard is just so boring right now. It's like you constantly spawn in like the 4 same locations. Either you follow the yellow ball around, or like you survive for 3 minutes. I don't think it's really that good, the zombies, but hopefully I'm wrong. I think they'll add better zombie maps in the future. Congratulations on 1 million, bro. Keep up the good work. Don't listen to people who demand content. Do what makes you happy, and you feel is good for the channel. Well, thank you, Pavel. I do appreciate it, man. Thanks, man. Not into Destroy All Humans, but it was fun watching your unbox that special edition remake, and I loved how you were like, "Wow!" at the Destroy All Humans 2 trailer. Yeah, I hope they make another crazy edition because I'll buy it and I'll do the unboxing. People really like it. That $400 edition that I bought for Destroy All Humans, that was so not worth it, but I still did it because I wanted to show people the unboxing and just show people that it wasn't worth buying it. But I had a lot of fun though with the unboxing and making that video and stuff. Because Queens is a lot of like kind of like housing neighborhoods, and so they house neighborhoods, and so that's probably why they think that Jameer. Maybe Rocket. I could do something like that with Red Dead Redemption. I'll get 100% of the definitive edition. Did I do something with your hair? Ha, Sage Row comment. Worst game I ever played, probably Brink. What's my sleep schedule? Oh, it's so messed up. I go to sleep in the very late morning. Like I went to sleep last night at 7 a.m. That's when I went to sleep. So it's like it's just getting all messed up for me. No wait, no, not 7 a.m. No, I ended up staying later than that. 8 or 9. Man, I don't even remember what time it was. I just ended up falling asleep, but I just stay up late, and I just eventually just fall asleep. But my schedule is not good. I have to fix it. Have you thought of doing cooking videos? Oh no. Thank you, DAC. I am not a cook by any means. The only thing I know how to cook is I know how to cook a good quesadilla. I can cook that, and I can make soup. I can make tomato soup generally. Like I can with a lot of things in it, but tomato soup and quesadillas, those are the only things I know how to cook really well. Usually I just make oven food or frozen food, oven fresh food or oven frozen food, some microwave too a lot. I'll say though, if I was to do like cooking videos, Gordon Ramsay would scream at me like if he saw me cooking. Like I'm not a good cook at all. Like it's just not. I'm not a good cook. It's 11:11 where I live. I'd love to see a blog kind of video one day. Maybe one day, awesomeness, I could make that. Are you still sticking with playing the Saints Row reboot? Just curious. I don't know because I said I wouldn't play the Saints Row reboot, but it's all based on what my subscribers want. If my subscribers really want me to play it, I guess I could do it just to tell people what I think of it, but I don't think I would enjoy it that much. I might do a poll, like maybe in February when it's gonna come out, I'll do a poll and I'll ask them, do you guys want me to play this game? And if they just say yes, then maybe I'll do it. Are you a fan of sci-fi things? If so, would you consider covering the Mass Effect series if you want? I mean, I'm not really that much into sci-fi games, but I could play that game because it's kind of like an RPG one. I'm always up for playing newer games. Thank you, Andy, for the super chat. Yo, RPG, don't stop uploading Saints Row content. If you do, I'm gonna unsubscribe. Also, congrats, professional. Well, thank you, Cabrio. Well, I know you're making fun of. I know you're making fun of the people that are basically go crazy when YouTubers try new content. Cabrio, thank you for the super chat. You into steaks? Yeah, but I don't really eat them much. I've had expensive steak before, but it's when I've had expensive steak though, I got it for free. Pro, I heard in San Andreas video that you have been working out. Have you ever thought about bulking to put on size? Well, thank you, Outcast. I'll answer your question in a moment. How did I get expensive steak for free? My mom works as a maintenance worker in Manhattan. And when I still lived in New York, what would happen is my mom would clean like CEO offices. So she would clean like offices for like really rich people, and she would clean like the boardrooms and stuff like that where all the rich executives like meet to have like their discussions. She's basically the lady that comes in when all their meetings and everything are done, and she just cleans their offices and stuff like that, and just keeps the place tidy. And so basically a lot of these meeting rooms and stuff like that, they order a lot of food that they don't eat, like fresh food that's unopened that they don't eat. And so she's brought me home like a lot of expensive food. Like she eats it too, I eat it, and she brought home like food that this food would have gotten thrown out either way. Like my mom didn't bring it in. Like, so these rich people, they like order like all these expensive restaurants and they never finish it, or they don't even open it. And so she brings home like a lot of the food, and my mom like brought home like expensive steak and stuff like that. And I'll tell you something, I've eaten it before, and I'm not a gourmet by any means or anything like that. I'm not a food expert, but I ate it, and it didn't taste any different to me than like regular steak, like that you would eat at a normal restaurant. So it's like, why, like, I don't understand why somebody would spend hundreds of dollars on like a single steak. I don't understand that when it tastes like virtually no difference to me. I just don't get that personally. I think that it's a waste of money. I don't know why somebody would spend that much money on a steak. Pro, I heard in San Andreas video that you've been working out. Have you ever thought bulking to put on some? What you mean, like, I mean, I don't really know, what, like, how to do that. Like, I do weights and stuff like that. If you want to know something, I can bench 100 pounds. Like, I know some people might be surprised by that, but I can bench 100. I know I'm not the biggest guy ever, but I can bench 100 pounds. And I would bench traditionally like dumbbells. I'll tell you something. When I started earlier this year, I was pathetic in the gym. When I started like earlier this year, like I would do like 40 pounds, like 20-pound dumbbells, and I would do that like just on the bench, just lifting up and down like that. That's like almost nothing, 40 pounds, but that was like, what I could do at the time. And so I just kept doing it, and like my friend instructed me how I have to get stronger, and like my friend's tips really helped me out a lot. And basically what he told me that I have to do the max weight that I can do. So the max weight that I can do, like do that and try to do a set of it. And then basically like over time, just move up the weights. So like keep doing the highest amount that I can do, the highest weight, keep doing that. And then over time, increase the weight by a little bit. And then do that at the most I can, and then increase the weight over a little bit after a few weeks. And then keep doing that and doing that. And I went from 40 pounds, benching 40 pounds to 100 pounds. And I did that in like a few months. So I think I've made massive progress. So I'm just much more muscular than what I used to be. Like I used to be just, really like skinny and stuff like that. But I'm much better now, in a much better shape than what I was. You have reached your limit today. Yeah, that's probably what it's like at the gym for me. Did those rich people order Big Smoke's order? No, Trevor. Probably not. Thank you, JD. One last thing. Do you know of GTA 5 mod called Realism Dispatch Enhanced? It's a one-level overhaul that makes dispatch varied in different state. Oh, no, I didn't hear about that, JD. Thank you, Eddie. He could do playthroughs whatever he wants. Well, thank you. I think that he was. I don't think he was. I don't think he was being serious though. I think he was probably joking. So am I gonna play the new GTA Trilogy? I'm doing the San Andreas video, so yeah. What I've noticed though, when I work out though, I don't know if it's that I'm doing like, I don't know if it's that I'm doing like the wrong workouts, but I've noticed I'm much stronger than what I used to be. So I'm not an expert at the gym by any means. Somebody in the comments probably knows about this more than me, but I've noticed that when I work out at the gym, I have gotten so much stronger at the gym. Like I've increased my strength by 2 times in like the past like few months, because I used to do like 40 pounds like earlier this year, but now I'm doing 100, and so I'm doing much better like benching. But I've noticed that my arms look a lot better. My arms are more muscular, but I've noticed that my torso doesn't necessarily my chest hasn't necessarily gotten bigger. It's really stayed the same for the most part. I don't know if it's because I'm doing the wrong exercises or what, but it appears my original account is still unable to leave a comment. Still, congrats on a 1 million. I love your Ace Attorney series. Will you play 2D GTAs? One day I will. You're unable to leave a comment, Leonardo? I don't know what that could be about. Maybe one of your older accounts had gotten hidden one day. Maybe that could have happened. I don't know. I'd have to check the list if. Can I show the result of what? What do you mean? And Cheyenne M, have you seen the Many Saints of Newark? No, I haven't. Thank you, Flias and Cheyenne. No, I haven't been in college for 2 years. Do you think the billboard in how many push-ups can you do? Mine is 30. Oh, usually 30 as well. I actually do 90 push-ups when I wake up every day, so I will do like I'll do like 3 sets of 30 push-ups. That's what I usually do. Okay, T-Mac. Okay, I'll look at it later, Carlos. Oh, thank you, Papa Wheelie. I'm not ignoring anyone. Thank you, Christian C. Why the hell do you sleep at 9 a.m.? Because Clarence, work. Because I've been working on so many projects. Like I do playthroughs and stuff like that. I do like Saints Row, San Andreas, and I'm working on a lore video at the same time. And when I'm doing all these videos at the same time, that takes a lot of time in my day up. And so what happens is I get one bad night where I end up staying up really late at night, and then I get a second bad night doing it again, and then maybe I'll do it for a third night, and the fourth night I'll try to go to bed earlier, but I can't do it because I try to go to bed hours earlier, and I cannot fall asleep because my body is so used to me falling asleep when it's like sunlight is coming up. And so because of that, like my body has just gotten so used to going to sleep so late, and I've messed up my schedule that badly. I'm gonna fix it again. I'm probably gonna take like a melatonin and try to sleep earlier. But that's just basically that. Mark echoes getting up is a graffiti a fighting game. Believe you can make great lore videos from it. Well, thank you, DHC. I could look into that. Good job on your 1 million subs. Where do you think GTA will go in the future in terms of map sizes? Do you think they'll come up with a map the size of a whole state or even a country? Possibly. They might do 2 cities in the next one. They might do like San Fierro and like Las Venturas in like one map. They might do something like that. Thank you, Stan, for the super chat. Remember that your health comes first, bro. You can work as much as you want, but please rest when needed. There is no need to overwork yourself. Well, thank you, Carlos. I know. Well, I would like to see like a mafia character in the next one. I wouldn't mind seeing like 3 characters in the next GTA game, but I'd much rather it be like GTA 4, where each character isn't linked to the other one, and they all have their own stories and antagonists. Pro, congrats on 1 million. Your friend LRGGXD. Well, thank you, Golden. Thank you, Golden Gamer Dark. Well, I mean, just because I do YouTube doesn't mean it's not work. I you have to come up with the video ideas. You have to do a lot of editing. You have to do a lot of commentary. The lore videos take weeks to make. You know, all that editing, putting it together. You know, getting the costumes for the playthroughs. That's not easy to do. You know, it's definitely better than working my retail job, but it's not easy when you think about it. Where's the Saints Row video at? That will be tomorrow, Blair. I promise. Earlier tomorrow, it'll be up. I'll try to think of a personal car. I think, Mr. Waifu. I will play GT Online when the next update comes out. That's when I'll play it. Yes, I have a platinum in Sleeping Dogs. So guys, I think I'll probably wrap up the stream here. Hey Pro, are you going to get a Nintendo Switch in the future? Would like to see you play Mario Odyssey or Zelda Breath of the Wild. Maybe one day I could play those games. If Mega Man Legends 3 ever comes out, because that's a game that I've been waiting for so long, it would probably come out on the Switch. I would definitely get Switches to play Mega Man Legends 3. Because I've been waiting for that game for years, even though they canceled it 10 years ago. What do you think about GTA Yakuza crossover? I don't know if they would really do something like that, but thank you, George, for the super chat. Hey, Professional, happy 1 million subscribers. Quick question. Will you ever do or play the Yakuza game on your channel? Like, I could do them one day. I think I would enjoy the Yakuza games. I think I would. Thank you, John, for the super chat. And thank you, Dwight, also. Thanks, man. Have you ever considered covering the Uncharted series? Yeah, I thought about it. I haven't ever played the games, really. I played the multiplayer betas, but I've never played the single player, so that could be something, new. Do you think the billboard in GTA 3 that says "See you in Francis International" is hinting towards a GTA 4 remaster? I don't know, because Francis International is an airport. Isn't that the name of the airport in GTA 3 too? Francis International, because it's in Liberty City. I usually work out every other day, so every other day I work out at the gym. Well, I guess I'm going to go here, guys. I'm just kind of tired. I'm also kind of hungry because I haven't eaten since breakfast. So I'm going to get something to eat. But I want to thank everyone once again for your support, because you guys have helped me out like a lot. And if you guys did enjoy the stream, though, please do drop a like. And if you're new to my channel, enjoy my content, subscribe to me. I want to thank everyone for your support, because this channel would be nothing without you guys, and you guys have supported me even when I expanded my channel into new content, and that means so much to me. So I want to thank you guys for your support. You guys are awesome, and on Friday I'll probably do a Red Dead stream. I'll have another part of San Andreas, so check in the next 10 minutes. In the next 10 minutes, I'll have the next part of San Andreas. So if you guys want to watch it, I also encountered a really annoying glitch in this next part of San Andreas. But thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone.